No mai, haere mai te Lloyd Ellsmore Park in Pakuranga, Tamaki Makaurau here in Aotearoa, New Zealand for day 2 of the South Seas Healthcare Pacific Cup cricket tournament. And what a celebration of Pacifica this has been already. We saw an action-packed day 1 and we're lining up for day 2 where you'll see Samoa take on Vanuatu in their fixture for the day. Elsewhere, of course, Papua New Guinea and Cook Islands and Fiji and Aotearoa Māori are in action. And this tournament stretches right through until its culmination on Sunday when we'll have the final. Well, earlier on, Samoa and Vanuatu, there's a toss. Regina Leli'i, Samoan captain, and Selena Solomon, Vanuatu captain. You'll probably see there, Regina Leli'i won the toss. She called correctly, or didn't. And then she gets to choose what happens, and they opted to bowl. So you'll see Samoa taking the field to start with. Vanuatu will open up with the bat. And I'm here with former Black Cap Pete McGlashan. Kia ora, e hoa, no mai, haere mai. Good to see you here today. You excited about it?
Yeah, really excited. This is reminds you why you play days like this, to see this many teams come here to the largest Pacific city in the world and enjoy this wonderful weather. A great place to play these tournaments, good surfaces, quick outfields, and it's nice to see the local community coming out as well. There's a few deck chairs and umbrellas around. There's activities for kids, so if you are anywhere near Pakuranga, come along down to Lloyd Ellsmore.
And don't be shy to bring your picnic either. Pete and I don't mind trying some good, freshly made Pacific fare. We've got we look like we need feeding, Pete.
Something about wicket keepers when they retire.
Exactly right. Exactly right, but no, an amazing day today. And we'll talk a bit more about the two teams facing off together shortly. But just a little bit of a recap on what happened here yesterday, day 1. Aotearoa Māori defeated Papua New Guinea by 7 wickets. And then defeated Vanuatu by 5 wickets. So a successful day for Aotearoa Māori. Papua New Guinea lost, obviously, to Aotearoa Māori. They beat Samoa by 10 wickets. And then Vanuatu defeated Fiji by 135 runs before losing to Aotearoa by 5 wickets. Samoa, an exciting finish for them. They defeated Cook Islands by just the 1 run. Very, very close game. And then Samoa lost to PNG by 10 wickets. So it's a close run affair. Cook Islands, after missing out to Samoa, they beat Fiji by 9 wickets. They chased down a total of 80 odd. And then Fiji, who missed out to Vanuatu early on, they then missed out to Cook Islands by 9 wickets. So already there's a bit of a picture forming on the leadership table, if you like. And not surprisingly there, Vanuatu, who's playing today, they're at the top. They've had 1 match and 1 win. PNG also 1 match and 1 win, but slightly under them on run rate. Cook Islands, 2 matches and 1 win and 1 loss. And Samoa, who go up against Vanuatu here today, 2 matches, 1 win, 1 loss as well. Fiji coming up at the bottom of the table, but a long way to go. And Pete, you had some experiences of Pacific Cup in your playing days, obviously going back a bit. What year was that again? I don't want to embarrass you.
No, I think it was 2002 or something like that. Yeah, the last time New Zealand hosted the Pacifica Championship for the men, there was also a New Zealand Māori team put into that tournament, much like here. Those listening, you will notice that the Aotearoa Wahine team wasn't mentioned in that points table, and that's because this is part of an ICC tournament. As New Zealand are hosting, it makes sense to have a Māori team in the tournament, but the points don't go to the ICC rankings because of obviously the existence of the Black Caps and the White Ferns. So a big tournament for the other Pacific countries, a great chance for them to compare themselves to the talent that is here in Aotearoa, but a wonderful experience for all, the sort of tournament that you never forget. Our tournament, a young 16-year-old Jessie Ryder was in that team. And we're very lucky to make it through to the final against Fiji. It's a very competitive tournament, so there'll be lots of great memories for the players that are in these tournaments. It may or may not be the highest accolade or tournament that they get to play it in their career, but for those that do go on, it'll still leave a lasting memory as a wonderful example of why we play cricket.
100%, and so far I've seen already just the passion and the joy that is really obvious on the field across all the teams, across all the games, no matter what the result, and the camaraderie that's already forming the teams themselves and against their opponents. And a real recognition of the fact that, you know, the Pacific region of the world produces some pretty good talent across all walks of life, and this is just another example. And ages from like 15, 16-year-olds right up to closer to you and I, Pete, but no, actually nowhere near it at all.
Yeah, well, it's one of those tournaments where I guess there's the blend between the traditional forms of cricket like killikiti that you see. Every village in Samoa has a constant concrete strip where killikiti is played, and so hosting a tournament like this, I guess, can you call Pakuranga South Auckland? It's almost South Auckland, East Auckland. Is a wonderful kind of bridge, I guess, between the traditional form of cricket that New Zealand cricket hosts and looks after. But it's a great example of the development work that Andrew Tata and others have done with New Zealand cricket, with both the Māori game and the Pacific game, to encourage tournaments like these to happen, because it's a great example. I think, you know, there are some disparities when you look at the rankings. You know, Vanuatu and Papua New Guinea probably ahead of the pack. Papua New Guinea, I think, ranked 12 in the world at the moment. So, you know, they have every chance of attending a big ICC tournament and T20s in the next few years. But interestingly, Samoa and Cook Islands very close together in ranking, and only one run between them yesterday. So probably a good sign of how competitive these teams are.
Absolutely, and the teams themselves just doing their last-minute preparations, getting ready, walk through those flags. Regina Lele'i to lead the Samoan side, and first up for Vanuatu will be Rachel Andrew and Valenta Langiatu to open the batting. Some good excitement brewing there. It looks like we're ready to go shortly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Rachel Andrew. She's the only player in the tournament, I think, that ranks on the ICC T20 ranking, so she's in the top 100, which is good to see. So obviously a player who has proven herself in these types of international tournaments. It's a wonderful opportunity for so many of them. Regina is someone that familiar face for those involved in Auckland cricket, played for the Hearts for a long time, and great to see her leading her country.
Absolutely. Hails from the amazing Papua Cricket Club, where so many legends were made, Pete.
Very biased there.
Yeah, absolutely. Ish Sodi, another one. Carol Ngafili, who's part of this crowd, but playing for the Brave today. Not able to join her countrywoman. I'm sure we'll see her in and around.
Former captain Shane Singh kept me out of the Auckland second 11 once.
Did he?
He did, yeah.
Shane
Singh, a stalwart at Papua cricket as well.
Yeah, he was. Amazing players.
Great to see. I was a little bit concerned about the weather forecast. Earlier in the week there was talk of rain, but it's a great thing about these T20 games is you only need a couple of hours of good weather, and it's absolutely baking out there. A little bit of a breeze. I think it was a bit hotter here yesterday, was it, Rachel and Rebecca in the comm box?
Yeah, it was, Patrick. Breeze is nice, and it was definitely a bit hotter. We're in the shade here. That might change as the day wears on. I think sort of later in the day it starts to sneak in. But here's our first look at how Samoa are setting up. Quite traditional field. Early doors, got a Regina Lele'i just settling the troops. Got a third man already. Deep cover. And you'll notice throughout the game, Vanuatu wearing black armbands. Condolences to Nasimana Navaika and her family. Her grandmother passed away recently. It's a nice sign of respect for her and the team. So our thoughts are with you and your family. And Iosefo to open up. Oh, good accuracy, but just a slight chance. It was a very good shot and a bit of a chase on here. Whaunga Poutu had the chase. It was a good throw in the end. Ta'ali'i Iosefo plays for Wanderers in Samoa, debuted in 2019. She'll be hunting out that very first breakthrough wicket.
Yeah, an aggressive start from Rachel Andrew, hitting the ball back down the ground. Mid-on has come a little bit straighter as a response.
That's a deft, delicate touch. Just looking to ease that single, but no way through there. Te Leo does the fielding for Samoa.
Langiatu, the batter on strike, coming off some good form yesterday. I think 61 or 45 deliveries. Highest score of the first day of the tournament.
Yeah, it was an impressive innings. A little wide, a bit of play and a miss there. Slightly marginal, well, line call probably. Just looking at that white line there. But Francesca Efetonu'u, the wicketkeeper, does a good job. Just happy to play it back, bit of circumspect, got 4 already. So just having a look at the conditions in the power play. The pitch was a little slow yesterday, turned a little bit. I wouldn't mind betting, Pete, after some baking sun since yesterday morning, that this might dry out and the outfield be a bit quicker than it was yesterday. So there might be value for runs out there for these batters. There's a bit of a leading edge there. It's a good delivery from Iosefo. She's been impressive this over so far.
Yeah, good areas from the bowler to start with. It's all been nice and straight. The wide was probably one that just swung away too much. But other than that, the batter's been looking to hit the ball back where it came from, which is always a good sign. The breeze is almost coming down the ground, so the two ends of this ground may play quite different. You might want to hit with the breeze from the other end.
Well defended, good shot. Oh, a bit of mix-up, could be a run out the keeper's end. Oh, Tanu'u couldn't quite gather it in. Had to reach high to get that catch. Couldn't quite bring it back. Maybe a bit of a tangle with the batter.
An example there of potentially predetermining the run was on. They may not have, Langiatu may not have realised that mid-on had come so straight. Could have been hiding behind the non-striker, so a bit of a tangle, lucky to survive that.
Strong shot again, playing it safe there, and that is the end of the first over from Iosefo. It's a good one. Vanuatu 4 without loss.
It's fair to say there was a few run-outs yesterday, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And a sign of, I think, some good aggressive running and good positivity, but also some very, very good fielding, Pete. The skills were amazing that were on display. And we had Tatenda Taibu, ex-keeper, who's working with the PNG team, and talk about how he's trying to elevate that for his side. And you can see the work going in for the games, even. But White Fern Susie Bates was on the tools with the Aotearoa Māori team, helping them in their warm-ups as well. So some real energy going into the field.
Yeah, it's one place that any team can compete. It was something that Steve Rickson brought into the Black Caps pretty early on. You can say you don't have depth of talent when it comes to batting and bowling, but there's never really an excuse for poor fielding. Yeah. It's pretty level playing field when you're in the field. So it's good to see these teams really focusing on that area as somewhere where you can easily save 15, 20 runs in the field and make your job much easier when you do get the chance to bat.
I always say it's a test you already know the answers to. Fielding and fitness. So it looks like Jacinta Sanele with the ball, the second over. Good shot, well defended and well fielded. Nearly Ian there, hunting through, leading by example. Jacinta Sanele, just 19, plays for the Friends Club in Samoa. Best bowling of 4 for 34, economy rate of 5.8. It's pretty good. Pretty impressive stuff. That's Regina Lilly, their captain. Again, definitely looks like it's coming on a bit quicker today.
Yeah, it looks nice. Playing the ball on the up, both of those deliveries kind of back of a length. But Andrew confident to just kind of stand and deliver a little bit. She's obviously waiting to try and get a bit of width.
Yeah, but she looks really well organised, doesn't she? You can see why she's ranked in the top 100 in the world, as you pointed out. feel like once she gets it going, we might be in trouble down here. There's a big swing. Bit of a deflection, but still keeping it to 0.
Yeah, Samoa doing a good job of bowling to their plan here. They're obviously sticking to the offside. They do have a sweeper out on the offside, so they do have cover if Andrew does free her arms. So it's just a patience game here, being disciplined. Don't be tempted to bowl at the stumps where they don't have that protection.
Oh, that's a good shot. That's a great shot over the onside, and wasn't far away from that fielder, but it's certainly miles away from her now. She tries to chase that down, but she had no chance. It was such a good shot from Andrew.
Yes, Anelia, a little bit guilty of trying to get into those stumps, as we discussed. She can be happy bowling the ball wide of off. It might feel like a bad delivery because of the width, but they've got protection out there. Third man is back, and they've got a cover sweeper, so she needs to be really careful that she doesn't get in at the stumps, open up that leg side, because there's not much protection there.
Oh, and that's just slipped down leg side and rightly signalled a wide there to bowl that one again.
Yeah, 6-3 offside field means they really can't afford to bowl too straight. They have to exist outside off stump. You'd rather be a foot and a half outside off than in at the pads. Needs to be patient here.
That's cracked. You heard that sound.
Yeah, plenty of protection out there, though. That's where you want to be bowling with this field. You can afford to allow a player like Andrew to free her hands through the offside, knowing that you've got that protection. And that's when you start to play on the mind of the batter as to testing their patience and whether or not they want to change the plan or play across the line.
So nearly one to come. It's full and it's driven nicely. Same areas we hit that boundary earlier, but good piece of fielding there. Manages to cut it off.
Reasonable start here from Samoa. Just the solitary boundary so far. The odd extra, and that'll be something that they want to keep an eye on. T20 format, only 120 deliveries. You really don't want to give anyone any extras at all.
Absolutely. And so far, I've been pretty impressed. Yosefo comes in for her second over. Driven nicely. But again, bit of confusion. Straight fielders causing a few problems.
I'm not sure if it's whether the batter doesn't expect there to be a player there or they're almost running on the shot. They almost feel like that's a good shot. I can get a single there. But it is an unusual field that Samoa have set up here.
That's driven nice. Gosh, she works it well off her pads. Langiatu. And they should come back for at least 2 there. The chase is on. It's a long chase. Might need some help. Yeah, good idea. No. Long way to throw. Sanelli helps out there.
Yeah, that's the trade-off for Samoa. So by having that mid on very, very straight, it does mean that it allows the batter to play wide of that player and pick up the extra run. So 6 of one and a half dozen at the other now, and to be patient.
Well, it's cut nicely backward a point. Really nice. And that'll find the boundary. Such a delicate shot. No big backswing, no big crack, but really, really good hand placement.
And it was just a classic back cut, wasn't it? Just probably would have been a wide if she'd let it go, but had the confidence to hit down on the ball. There is a player out sweeping on the offside. If anything, this third man fielder is probably a little bit too fine with this pace of bowler. She can probably give herself an extra 15 or 20. But that's the danger, getting hit on both sides of the wicket.
That's driven nicely too. Should be straight to mid-off. Making some good decisions here, Andrew and Langiatu. They're giving respect to some good deliveries, but then when there's a little bit of room or there's a delivery that's in their wheelhouse, one of their strengths, both playing really nicely off the pads, and not afraid to play through the ball, which is really encouraging. Again, should just be the one. That's a great stop. Great piece of fielding. Leleti showing the way there.
Yeah, good standards by the captain.
Despite her 37 years. Sorry, G. I'll buy your coffee.
I mean, and again, it's a sprawling dive that doesn't need to be made because there was only a single anyway. There's a player out behind her, but it does set the tone for the rest of the team, and it shows them that that desperation is vital.
Again, nicely driven, well fielded, there's some good skills. Yeah, I think Pete, often one of those little things in the field, as you say, it's probably never a run into the third over, 18 without loss. But they can sometimes put a bit of doubt in the mind of the batters too. Go, whoa, she's a bit good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it becomes infectious. So, you know, if you're fielding at cover and you do something like that, then the fielder either side of you at point and mid-off is also hopefully seeking out a similar level of energy and enthusiasm.
Yep.
And it's that confusion or hesitation which can sometimes lead to a dismissal. And we've seen, as we said, there's a lot of run-outs. Yesterday we've already seen some indecision, so Samoa will be looking for any chance for a breakthrough.
Well, it's whipped on the leg side. Bit of an appeal, probably missing leg there by a wee way. Sanelli coming back, coming in hot for her first ball of the second over.
Similar here, third man is much too fine for a bowler of this pace, so they probably could afford to have an extra player on the leg side.
Yeah, that's nice. Good protection out there. Well, a bit of a fumble, nearly brought two, but you can already hear the energy through the stump mic of that Samoan side. Very, very encouraging and desperate to make sure they cut down as many runs as possible.
Yeah, that's bowling to your field. So pitching the ball up, have them hit it out to the cover sweeper. A little bit of a fumble out there, but it was quickly recovered and got the ball in the air. You can bowl to that plan and kind of, you know, this is a very good opening pair. You know, these two players, one's got good form and the other has some history, you know, being well ranked in the ICC rankings. So it's a critical breakthrough they need.
Another wide. It's good work by Tona'u just to make sure that it's kept to the one. Sort of 3 and a bit overs, 20 without loss in the power play. Now as we are, I think if you're Regina Leleti, you see your fielding side's on, everyone's fielding well. What can I do to create a bit of doubt for the batter? Do I pull someone in? Do I ask my bowler to maybe bowl a bit of a change up? How do I get them taking a risk? That's nicely bowled. Good fielding, crowd catch.
Feels like a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment.
Yeah.
And here is that change from the captain. Third man coming up just inside the circle mid-on, going back. So probably feeling that, you know, she's halfway through the over, hasn't gone for a boundary. The last thing you want to do is leak a boundary at the end and kind of ruin the over. So she's giving her bowler a little bit of an extra protection at long on.
Oh, it's a strong shot straight. That's an excellent cricket shot. Straight drive back over the bowler's head. I would be proud of that shot, Pete.
Yeah, good energy there from Andrew. Not fearing the long on going back. More than happy to hit the ball back over the bowler's head. It was very straight, and that's what meant that the long on didn't have the chance to get across.
Yeah, that was a key. And unfortunately for Samoa and Leleti, that's exactly what she was trying to prevent, is that boundary towards the end of the over.
Yeah, and I think that's why the captain's just having a chat to her now, just saying, look, you know, we planned for that. It's just the batter was better than us that time. We had a player back. You know, if that ball goes 10 or 15 yards to the left, she picks it up and it's only a single. So it's a situation where the bowler has actually done what they've been asked. They've set a field for it, and the batter was just too good on the day.
Sanelli continues circumspect there. It's a better ball. Probably not quite as full, not in the hitting arc, the pick-up arc of Rachel Andrew. Who you'd have to say, I think, is really impressive so far. She's going along at a good strike rate, over 100. And seems to be planning her innings very well, showing some restraint, but also using the power she has when she needs to. Again, ends the over with a dot. That's the end of 4 overs, 24 without loss. And we'll be handing over to Katie Perkins and Eru Paranihi on the comms.
Tēnā kōrua I tō kōrero kia tātou. I thanks to Rebecca and Pete for starting us off so well, and yeah, it's been an exciting start. Just to see some really good quality cricket from both sides so far. Quality batting, and then yeah, counter-punching by Samoa, not wanting to give an inch. Some smart field sets, trying to just deal with the boundaries that they've been able to sort of obtain every sort of over or so thus far. Eddie, what have you seen thus far?
I think that, I think Samoa at the moment are doing a wonderful job in terms of containing that threat from the openers. Of course, Vanuatu already has a half-century to her name, Nō reira ko Pāhua ia. Ai. Talo Falava, and also a very warm greeting to our audience as well in Vanuatu. Aloha o ke tā.
Well, we've got Edu doing all our Pacific greetings today. Thank you, my bro.
Tai lava.
So bowling change. Yeah, and on the money straight away by Potu.
Always good to get your first ball there. Yeah, she just pitched that up. Played down on the onside as well, so...
Langiatu just giving herself a bit of a sighter, which is just smart cricket. But yeah, the more she keeps it up, we've seen both of these batters looking really strong down the ground. So when the opportunity arises, once we get out of this power play, I can imagine both drives will be back pretty smartly. Yeah, again going down leg, but enjoying the energy. The appeals are always, well, they're hurting the ears a little bit in the ears due to the stump mics.
I always thought, even if it hits the pads, just appeal. You never know. Oh. Don't ask, don't get.
Exactly. Make the umpire do their work. But yeah, a little bit of shape in so far by Potu. It's definitely windy. You can probably hear it in the mic as well. Bit too much shape that time, drifting down leg for another wide and a run. So it's 2 runs to this over thus far, just 2 balls gone. So not an ideal start to have the wides, but she'll rein it in. We've got Regina having a talk to her just to refix her line.
Yeah, I'd quite like perhaps to have a fielder in, or just a little bit in square leg, sort of riding the boundary at the moment, just holding up the single here. So I've got a stacked offside with cover. It looks like an extra cover and backward point as well.
Yeah, well stopped in the covers, well fielded. That was the full toss that you hope to get away and see to the boundary. But you're right, with the shape coming in to be able to sort of squeeze in that leg side and stop the easy single. But yeah, always a tricky one in the T20 of the balance between attack and defend, especially when you can only have the 2 out. Yeah, bowling well to her field. She's reset her line after the wide. And yeah, just attacking that pad with the in-swing.
Quite perhaps like to see third man maybe move in a bit more square. So kind of almost like they're sending it a deep, well, more of a deep gully maybe sort of bring them a little bit finer as well, and maybe a couple of yards back.
Oh. Well, I don't know if you've got a line to G, but square or deep squares come up and long ons back. Yep, it makes sense in terms of just the shape that we're getting with the in-swing. Oh, great stop by Regina. That's my friend.
Yes, Regina Lili'i spent some years over at Auckland Hearts, as we see on the replay there. Wonderful, wonderful fielding there. It's a good shot too.
Yeah, like you know, G's fielding a mile away. That's classic G. Body on the line all the time. Would throw herself around for any team she's in. Yeah, another ball on the money, looking for the quick run. Yeah, they'll scamper through safely enough. And that is over. So into the fifth over, 28 for none.
He's just approaching the end of the power play there, and of course I've employed that tactic to stick the offside there. I've noticed that, yeah, Regina Lili'i at cover. She's got an extra cover in there as well, and point. Perhaps as they make the fielding change, I'd maybe like to see perhaps short out wide employed and encourage the batter, you know, or even perhaps encourage the batter get onto the front foot. Get onto the front foot, and perhaps that miscue. We saw plenty of those yesterday.
Yeah, well, what we saw in that last over, there was nothing bowled short, so she's got her lengths nice and full, always encouraging the drive. It's always a tough one for the captain when your bowlers are starting to bowl a couple of lengths, both short and full. Really hard to set fields too, but I've seen a pretty disciplined bowling performance thus far by the Samoan girls. Bowling change again now. We've got Whaatasi coming in for her first ball. Again, a little bit shorter that time, but yeah, stacked off field. That appears to be the strategy they're going with.
Yes, Eleni Whaitasi from Whaliula, Tonga Manono, Alafua Papua Aotearoa, from those villages here in Upolu and Savai. Great to see her ainga and her whānau out here and watching as well.
Yeah, cramping her up. Quick single, so it's good to see that the Vanuatu batters are still hustling for the runs when they can, with only the with two fielders deep on the leg side, both at fine leg and square leg. It means that anything dropped into square leg is an easy one. If they can gap it well enough, there may be two, and now the outfield is quickened up today, so potentially fours as well. Shorter, oh, unlucky. Good effort on the boundary to rein that in. Just a little bit shorter. The pitch is playing well. It's set up, and then was dispatched with aplomb.
Yeah, the key thing to that shot there that was played by Rachel Andrew, is that, you know, head still, got into position, and just played through the ball as well. Didn't try to overhit it at all, and you know, unfortunately, that's cricket, misfields and that, but for Rachel Andrew, though, she'll be happy with that.
Yeah, just I guess a little bit on the boundary, fielding, just a little bit of a harbour bridge, but I'd rather see that she's getting down to it rather than, you know, watching it go past. Oh. Another Epawhanui, another wide. So trying to restrict the extras is always like a massive thing for a bowling unit, and it's always the tricky one of, you know, in the team debrief, oh, well, let's not bowl wides, let's not bowl no balls today. It's like, well, you're sort of focusing on the wrong thing, I think, when you're saying that. Like, let's focus on hitting top of off stump, that positive kōrero. Short and pulled away down to backward square. Fine legs come round, only the single. So well fielded.
Indeed, good field placement there. They've obviously identified that Rachel Andrew loves the pull shot and loves the hook as well. It's actually one of her go-to shots that I hear. And so Captain Regina Lili'i employing that person out at square leg, just behind that umpire there. Look to target that, perhaps the hook shot.
Oh, splits the gap well through the covers. Definitely should be 2 runs. Yeah, good efforts in there. Just the 2, happy for that. Yeah, to split that off field side was a good effort, given it is a little bit stacked over there.
I want to see how difficult it is to see that arty pitch. There's an artificial pitch next to the strip, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, often or not, if a ball rolls on the side, so we're looking at it on our screen at the moment, so to the right side there, the green strip will come in now. So you'll see it right on your screen. I've just noticed that, you know, some of the fielders are troubled by that.
Last ball of the over should be a dot. Oh, unlucky to misfield that. Great, it was a great ball, and it's the perfect way to finish an over. Just unfortunate misfields, but they had splim in fielding sometimes. So end of the over, end of the power play, 38 for none. Out of the power play now. Obviously, the field restrictions do change, so 4 players allowed to be outside of the inner ring, which is now a battle for Regina, who's the skipper of Samoa, to figure out how do we balance this. Do we go real defensive, put all our 4 out now, or potentially just keep the 2, put out a 3rd?
Yeah, from the looks of it, they've just signalled a second power play. Just confirmed it with our scorers here in the room. Yep, and they're giving me a nod. It is the second power play. And what do you do here? Like, I mean, obviously, you know, no wickets down, 38 without loss. And I guess you're right too. Get the power play out the way. Set perhaps maybe more an aggressive field. From the looks of it though, they've employed the spinner. So I would imagine there'll be someone on count corner.
Yep, they've headed out. And we've got deep cover. She's left arm, so will be, spinning away. Played cricket so long, how do I forget what happens with the left arm? Oh, sorry, it's medium pace, so. Or just bowler out. That is a great wicket, great bowling change, and massive breakthrough for Samoa, who have fought well through that first power play. And Vanuatu has to go for 14 off 21.
Well, actually, you just answered my question. How do you get them out after the power play? Well, you put in a lefty.
As you can see on the replay, stayed a little bit low, potentially. But, yeah, she's looked to pull that into the leg side, maybe a little bit on the shorter side. Just clean missed it and has made no mistake, straight through and got her first wicket of the day.
Yes, of course, Felicia Owina, the bowler there. From the villages of Wailoa, Palauli, To'omua, Saulua, Fata, Sili and Sapapali'i. They'll be very proud of it. They'll love that too. I can always hear them back in the village going, Sekia! Sekia meuma. Everything's all good.
No. Outstanding stuff, and you know, way to start your day is a wicket first ball, so she'll be looking to continue that, see how many more she can pick up today. New batter in for Vanuatu, Naize Navaika. Just taking a guard. What's she using there? Oh, no idea what's in the pocket there to mark a guard. I've never seen that before. Usually maybe the bail or the sprigs, so that's innovative. Yeah, more circumspect to start her innings here after seeing her mate just go out the previous ball, first ball of the over. The good thing for Vanuatu is that they've had a really solid start to their power play. With only 1 wicket down, there's the opportunity to take a look and rebuild the partnership. That's tight.
A bit closer.
It looked good. It looked pretty tight. And we'll see on the replay if that did in fact pitch in line, but from the naked eye, it looked pretty good.
Looked like I had a bit of a swing too, so like it landed on.
Yeah, pitched on leg. hitting leg.
Yeah, there is a slight breeze out there. Went up before just to go and say hi to some of the ainga and the whānau, and then just a tad drifting. Yeah, ideal for the swingers, especially the lefties on the roadside end.
Yeah, no, and Regina again, it's good captaincy to pick the right end for her bowlers to bowl at. So unfortunately, for Navaika, it was a short stay and just didn't pick the straightening of the line to that delivery. But it now brings in captain Selena Solomon to the wicket. So I don't know, when you're carrying the captain's armband, expectations a little bit higher potentially. No doubt, got some stats for us though, Edu.
Yes, of course, Selena Solomon, 17 off 11 yesterday in that match against Fiji. Just the 1-4, but the crucial thing, and the absolute crucial thing, is that strike rate too. And ideally you want it over 100. So hitting it well at this tournament so far, and I guess Vanuatu will be looking on Solomon's experience.
Oh. Tapa, edge down to the boundary, going to be reined in, and they're happy to settle for just the 2 runs. A nervous edge to start the innings for Solomon.
Yes, just played it to no footwork there, and the key thing with Samoa, what I loved about this as well, there were not only 1, not only 2, as we'll come to the screen, but 3 fielders actually chasing. That's what you want to see from your fielding side too. And you can see the body language here. It's just picked up a bit. They've taken 2 quick wickets. And I was always a confidence player, so no doubt.
Yeah, great bowling. And had we been following the theme of the over, that probably should have been a wicket. However, that's all right. 2 for 2 off her 5 balls thus far.
Got to say it like the voice, 2 for 2.
2 for 2. 40 for 2.
E mihi ana ki a koe Richie.
Another appeal, but potentially pitched outside the leg stump. End of the 7th over. 7 overs gone. And now my number's gone off my screen. What was it, 40 for 2? Honestly, I think I'm a commentator and then I get shown up just like that, so. But great start.
You're used to having an international career where others count your runs. Now you got to count them now because ko tia koe ne.
Oh, heck. But yeah, opportunity now for Andrew and Solomon just to come together at the end of the over, have a kōrero, figure out, okay, what's the plan here, because we have lost a couple of wickets. Samoa up at the moment, lots of energy, as we saw, chasing the ball hard to the boundary. Bowlers think they're about to get a wicket every couple of balls.
Yes, indeed. Tuaoloa Helena Semau. Number 2 there. Handy with her pace as well, and I've actually been really impressed with the Samoan bowlers. Yeah, the old extras here and there, the old wides, but they're putting it in, in some good spots as well. As, Regina Lili'i comes out of mid off to talk to her bowler, Semau. And you'd hope too that she can just get it on that off, top of a stump, back of a length, get the Vanuatu players drawing forward to it, just like we saw with that edge before. Magic can happen.
All right. Yeah, good start again. Like, these bowlers are now just bowling in partnership and they both look like they've got it on a bit of a string. And the field sets look pretty tight. Just pushing her, was sort of a mid-wicket around a bit more to a square leg and a wide long on to Cow, because, she's got long on as well. Good, great field sets. Honestly, I love mid-wicket. That was just my hunting ground, and I just love seeing other players hunting in at mid-wicket all day long, just wanting the ball.
Will you ever chuck that Cow for punishment?
It wasn't punishment, because, the cool catchers come out to Cow.
Hey. Just hear Rebecca Rolls saying she couldn't throw. I'd believe that.
I couldn't throw. I was...
Well, she doesn't throw anyone in the deep end, so I reckon your ability matches your persona.
Right, back to the cricket. Sorry, 3 dot balls. 4th dot ball in a row. The pressure starts to build as the batter. You're feeling like, okay, where's my run going to come from? She's bowling a great line that is forcing the batter to have to keep looking straight, because if she goes too far across her pad, she brings in that potential LBW decision. Oh, great work. One more ball for the over? Yep. So
yeah, Samoa's got on a nice tight length there, and you know, one of the key things is bowling to your field, and when your captain sets the field, the crucial thing, the absolute crucial thing, bowl to your field as well, and they've obviously identified that. Vanuatu aren't necessarily strong on the offside.
Oh.
And just as I said
Come
that...
on. Well, we blame Eru for that sorry, Samoa. But a little bit of a pressure shot potentially. Great shot, though. Over the top. And no risk really in it. Just has played through the line. And, just on the up. Beautiful shot. So well-deserved to hit the 4 off the last ball of the over. And I'm out. Back to Rosie and Pete.
Yeah, aggressive way to finish the over, banging the ball back over mid-off. It's a good little arm wrestle here between Andrew, obviously, who has started off well, lost her opening partner, but is still showing that confidence. 5 dot balls and then the boundary, as Katie had highlighted. There was that tension building as the over progressed.
So Mel, oh, that's hit in front. I thought so too. That's given out. Solomon just hit in front, goes for the big swipe onto the leg side. It was there to hit, but I think just probably was a bit slow in the end. She was through the shot a bit early. Unfortunately for her, struck right in front.
I just thought I might have heard a bottom edge on the pull shot. It's hard to tell from here.
Certainly
probably, yeah, it wasn't really up high enough to pull. Probably kept a bit low. She got through the shot a little bit early. So another wicket falls.
So another look at it from side on. Yeah, it was keeping a little bit low. Good shout though. But disappointing to pass. Have to go out without scoring too many runs. Solomon, who's the captain, wanted to contribute a little bit better. However, the tournament is not over, and she's a good player, so don't be surprised if you see a lot more from her this week. Might be Alvina Kilia coming to the wicket.
This is when, as a captain in the field, you've got an established player at one end, but the wickets are falling quickly at the other end. So there is a real opportunity to isolate that player who's in form at the non-striker's end and really put some pressure on the newcomer.
Iona, impressive figures, 3 for 2. Goes again. It's well played. Alvina Kilia, high score of 29 not out, strike rate of 76, so her team would love that from her today. Maybe even go on, increase that top score. But this left arm, you call it slow medium from Iona, is really creating some problems here. Bit of width there. Probably missed out, but at the end of the day, is also a good piece of fielding. And don't forget Rachel Andrew at the other end. He's going at 100 strike rate, 22 off 22. She's been wanting to keep that strike ticking over. Had a wicket and 2 dots already. Start to feel a little bit of pressure. Oh, that's a play and a miss. Again, just almost beaten by a lack of pace, and even Tanu'u was slightly deceived there.
Really good seam presentation. Just floating it down. This can't have been fair. Just drifted across. On some really good channels here.
Again, she's probably Kilia just going to move that back foot towards the ball a bit more because of that angle. The left arm are coming across when it passes your eye line, it's closer to your body than when it passes your bat. And it can be really tricky, that angle. And Iona looking down the barrel of a wicket maiden here, potentially. She can bowl a dot or a wicket, this ball. Oh, no, she won't do that. Or she might, actually. There's a good piece of fielding and still picking up the ball. Some tidy stuff in the end. And that's the end of 9 overs, 44 for 3.
Yeah, so it is a wicket maiden in the end. Keelia thought she'd got away with it, tucking it round the corner. Short fine leg, had a little bit of work to do. There was a bit of a fumble, a bit of confusion between the batters, but managed to avoid giving away the single. So a wicket maiden is a really good effort. Samoa have done well here to just wrestle back a bit of momentum. You do feel that that power play probably went to Vanuatu, and Samoa have had the best of the last couple of overs. I think they're enjoying having a slightly broader field options. They can have boundary fielders out if they need them. And just enjoying having that little bit of extra protection.
Continues Rachel Andrew back on strike again. Simao with the ball. She's had the 1 over. Just the 4 runs off it so far. Really looking to put the squeeze on here as they approach the halfway mark somewhere. That's hit into the offside. A little bit of a potential fumble, but the batters will come back for 2, and that's good running. Good pressure on the field.
Yeah, and it's in that area that Edu highlighted before with the artificial cricket pitch. At point, it can be a bit problematic. The ball rolls across and there's a bit of a bobble. Good work by the fielder on the boundary, though, to come round and cover. Limited it to 2.
Well, it's smashed. Protection. And a good throw back in. The sound off that bat pitch, she's hitting them hard.
Yeah, I think that's the risk for Andrew, is she's probably wanting to try and stay on strike as much as she can. She's been isolated a little bit for the last few overs where she hasn't got much of the strike. She is hitting it so well. And the new batter on strike, you can sneak in a couple of dots and limit the damage if you can bowl to the new batter.
Yeah, and the thing for Andrew is if she's going at 100, that's good strike rate, and she's seen some batters come and go, so that often affects the strike rate. That hasn't bothered her. She's still there in maybe the 15th over. Call party time. She can really let loose and have some fun. That's struck strongly as well. Well fielded. It's a very good piece of fielding. Iona there. Just preventing any further runs. Had a bit of work to do. Had to move quickly sideways. Sometimes what fielders do there is they tend to run round the ball, but she cut it off directly. Yeah, really nice. The outfield's quick today. Playing a miss off the pad. And Simao, she finishes her second over. She's on none for 8, and Vanuatu 48 for 3 at the halfway mark, 10 overs.
Yeah, another good over from Samoa. Just the 4 runs per over off her 2. So, and most importantly, keeping Andrew off strike, managed to sneak the dot ball to finish the over. So at this stage, 48 for 3. Samoa will be pretty happy with that, I think, after what was a pretty aggressive start from Vanuatu.
Yeah, I think they'll want to get maybe a couple more wickets. It's the point in the time in the game, Pete, where you start thinking about totals. And if you double it here, obviously halfway, you're just above the 100. But I think Samoa will be happy if they keep them at 100. And Vanuatu will be thinking probably more like 120, 130. Driven nicely again. Laleiti's still able to keep this relatively attacking field up. She's got protection out both sides, but we're out of the power play now, so got a bit of luxury to keep a couple of fielders up.
Yeah, and that's the key, is the bowling to the new batter. You can do that. If Andrew's on strike more, you need to be more defensive.
Absolutely, I think Regina Leliti will be thinking, how can we keep her off strike? She's the danger woman. Kilia's a good player, but she's still finding her feet in her innings. And the other thing is, if you've got a batter like Andrew who likes to go at the ball and she gets starved of the strike, she can make some maybe risky decisions when she is on strike. Iona has been so impressive. Again, some doubt. Yeah, no, it's never a run there. Sanele, it's been tight down there all day. She had a lot of work to do.
Pressure just starting to build on Kelia, so 1 off 10 deliveries.
It's Manasseh, sorry, doing the fielding down there. He's been busy. Still looking. I just can't get her away. Such a tricky angle. 4 dots again. She got 3 for 18 off 4 against the Cook Islands yesterday in that very close game they had. It's been a key spell. But it's there to be hit a little bit shorter, and she makes the most of it, does Kia. Might run away.
Yeah, nice little pressure release there, dragging the ball down. Did well to hit the ball for 4 behind square. There is a fielder out on the boundary, but they're at probably more of a mid-wicket position. And because she managed to just pivot on impact, turned it away behind square, and it raced away for 4. So it just takes a little bit of pressure off Kelia. She was, it had been 4 dot balls after a pretty tight over before. So she'll be relieved of that now. She'll be looking to rotate the strike.
Again, Iona right back on mark. End of another very impressive over for her, despite the fact there wasn't a boundary in it. She's 3 for 6, and Vanuatu 52 for 3 after 11.
Yeah, 3 for 6 off 3 overs is remarkable. Doing an excellent job here. It's been a really good spell for Samoa. This bowling partnership is doing a good job of either containing the well-established Andrew or keeping the new batter on strike for as much as possible. 11 overs in, and Andrew's 26 deliveries so far is less than half. So they've done a good job of keeping the danger batter off strike.
Absolutely, and opening partnership of 38. Since then, this is probably the next biggest at 6 or 8. Iona done a good job. Samoa continues. This is what they're doing. Let Andrew get a single, and then she can sit down the other end, thank you very much, and we'll keep bowling at Kelia. It's great captaincy and good bowling.
Yeah, and it's Samoa's best chance of keeping Vanuatu to a chaseable score here.
Just dying a little bit down there. Maybe a bit of a slow patch just outside off. And the bowlers so far, Iosefo, Sanele, Pautu, Vaiatasi, Iona and Samoa. They've all been, with the exception of Vaiatasi, very economical. Vaiatasi went for 10 off her 1 over. And Samoa now, it's just the 1 off the over, so might see a couple more fielding changes just to keep this defensive ring alive. That's up in the air, but safe. Should just be the 1. No, they are going to push for 2. That's good running. The relay throw required again.
There was a thickish outside edge that went down past third man. One of those in-between ones. Not a comfortable 2. They had to run the first one hard to get back. As you said, because it did require a little bit of a relay throw, that chasing fielder flicked the ball back and the return came in. It was comfortable 2 in the end.
again. It's hard to catch up with. She's just flirting with the wide line, but doing it very well so far, Samoa.
It's not a bad plan sometimes. You can afford to be in that corridor, because if all it takes is one or two player miss, and that might make up for the odd wide that does get called, still end up in the positive.
Let's got a hold of that one. That's in the gap. Laletti gives chase. Good sliding pick up from her as well, showing her experience at time with the Auckland Hearts. Good athleticism. End of 12, and Vanuatu 56 for 3. Well, that tells the story so far of the innings. Fairly consistent. You see the 2 wickets in the 7th over there. And since then, the start of a good partnership. And the opening partnership of 38 was the key to this good start from Vanuatu, but Samoa tactically doing a good job of trying to keep them under 100 as a total score. And
I feel like we must have been Vanuatu's cursor, because as soon as we got off, they started scoring some runs.
Well, you better take them back again.
Tēnā koe Rebecca, Aotearoa Pete.
Alrighty. Tilia into her first over of the day. Dot to start, so again, circumspect by batters just to see what she's bringing here. Into the offside. Regina, the ball magnet, does her job again, stopping the one. And I just wanted to give some big props to Regina. I said earlier, oh, that's my mate. And yeah, had the privilege of getting to play alongside Regina for many years at the Auckland Hearts, and one of those amazing people. Like, you're just sort of privileged to be her friend, and I have no doubt that she's a captain out there who inspires. And so for the Samoa team to be led by her means that this team's going to be a threat to everyone throughout the tournament, just led by her inspirational leadership.
You reckon she could have gone close, though, to playing, I guess, what Burns if she had wanted to, or...
Yeah, there was definitely a couple of years there where she herself just had the ball in a string. So just look at this replay, just sneaking through, or just tata, ki te tapa o te patu, close to the edge, but no run and no opportunity.
He just fumbled there by Francesca Etitornu'u behind the stumps.
Catches up, but going to fall safely. Dragged in by Long On, who's come up. Still only another single in the over, 2 off it thus far.
Yeah, just back to Regina, she's fielding there at mid-off. And yeah, definitely props on her too. One of the nicest people. I said, "Do you want to join us up here?" You know what she said?
Well,
I'll tell you after this ball.
And out to Long Off. Batters are pushing hard for 2. Yeah, it was a great call by the batsman and made it safely. Good effort by the fielder, but 2 runs home safely. End of the over. 3 down, 60 on the board.
I should probably rewind too with Regina there. She makes her way to mid-off on the other side of the pitch with the change in the over. But so I went straight up to her and I just said, "Do you want to commentate on Sunday?" Oh no, introduced myself, just like my name and my Lewis, the Aotearoa Māori coach, was there. And and I did it in a way and I forgot to say what I did and what we were doing. So I looked like this random Māori fellow on the street going up to her
fan.
and asking for something completely. She's at mid-on, she's now at mid-on, but I know she's still at mid-off, but yeah. So she said she'll think about it. Maybe you might have to convince Regina.
Well, passes G in the field. Well, I would have actually hoped that she said, well, no, I'm going to be in the final, so I can't.
I think that's what she was alluding to, yeah.
Yeah, well, good.
But then when I told her, oh, no, with New Zealand, I'm legit with New Zealand cricket, I'm not just some other random fella.
But you said you'd get to commentate beside Perky, eh? And then she's like, oh, yeah, sign me up.
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, that's all good. We've got Samoa back into the bowling attack for her last over. Been real miserly with the runs thus far. No wickets, but bowling in partnership with the other end. And 13 off her ball so far. Oh, yeah, plays and miss. Another dot. These dots are going to be the thing that's really frustrating the Vanuatu kaipatu at the moment.
Kei te tika koe. No, kei te tika koe. You know, every dot ball counts now. You know, it's absolutely just as good as a wicket.
All right, as we head into the back half of the innings, you want to be trying to score a ball, score a run off every ball. As that one goes down to long off, tidily fielded, back to the bowler. So yeah, ones and dots is exactly the goal for Samoa at the moment. And then hopefully with enough of those, you'll see the bigger shot, which brings the opportunity for a wicket. Oh, cleanly struck. If you heard that through the effects mic, that was out of the middle. But again, same result, down to long off for one.
Yeah, whaiunga Poutu at long off there. Well positioned. I'd quite like to see long on too. That's Manasi. Is it Manasi? No, it's Sanele, just into Sanele. I'd like to bring it just a little bit more fine, just.
Oh, well swept, just tucked around behind, square leg, chases on by the square leg fielder who was up in the ring. And easy two. There'll be a point where the Vanuatu kaipatu, where their batters will gonna have to look to potentially start pushing any ones into twos into threes, especially maybe in the last 5 overs as they continue to have some more wickets in hand. The risk levels can start to go up a bit. Unsure of how deeply this team bats. Yeah, good bowling here, nice and full. Only gives her the option of driving it down the ground, again, just for the 1 run. And Komutu, Tera Paepa, that's overs done, and the score is 66 for 3.
Yes, of course, and it wouldn't be a celebration of Pacifica cricket without acknowledging our other games happening at the moment. In the background there, you can see the Papua New Guinea taking on the Cook Islands. That's over on field 2 here at Lloyd Ellsmore Park. We're calling it the road end, and on the mid-wicket, from the mid-wicket shot on the other side, Aotearoa Māori at the moment was taking on Fiji. And don't forget as well, you can get online to check out the scores.
Well struck again, down to long off. Great field sets here by Samoa again, only giving the ones with Talia now into bowl her second over. So far only gone for the 5 runs. So really economical bowling again by these Samoan bowlers. Bigger shot by Andrew. Out to cow corner, out to deep mid-wicket pia. Again, just for the 1. Andrew just ticking along just under 100 strike rate with Chile at the other end, 16, or now on strike, 16 off 27. So she'll be hoping to just up her strike rate a little bit more. And I put the mockers on her, caught at mid-wicket. Tidy little catch, and that's the first wicket for Talia. Chilia has to go for 16.
You can see just a nice length there on the front foot, but unfortunately, Regina Liliti setting that field, setting that trap almost, and just getting it right on that dot. Talia, you dream of those, pitching the ball, the right spot.
Yeah, that's the perfect setup for your close-in mid-wicket fielder, just watching the ball angle into the batter. You know they're looking leg side, but you're well protected by your deep mid-wicket, cow corner fielder. So you know you're in the game, because if they're going to look to maybe go over you, a little bit of a false shot means a catch could be coming your way. So perfectly done by Samoa. That'll lift the energy levels up yet again. Now with Vanuatu 4 down, 60 out on the board. There's going to need a big push by Vanuatu to really put maybe a real competitive score on the board in the back half of the innings. Oh, edged first ball again. But gets rid of it for the single.
Yes, Le Māori Chilia. Just kind of prodded the bat out there too. Minimal footwork used, and actually at the non-striker's end now. Le Māori Chilia, no relation of course to Alvina Chilia, who got out before.
Tika tau.
Engari, he whānau tā rāua.
Mai te same rohi ne.
Aye.
And again, just one down the ground. Just tidy work. Real impressed by the efforts in the field by Samoa. Can't remember when the last misfield was. Everyone's looking really tidy.
Yeah, Chilia back on strike again. She's got a handy strike rate of 86.
Yeah, that's it. And then now the key is if they're not going to be able to hit the boundary, it's about bat on ball. So rotating the strike, just as we've seen there. But that brings the over to an end, which was successful. 1 wicket off it. And Papua New Guinea, wrong Kemu. Vanuatu 71 for 4.
Speaking of Papua New Guinea, down on the other end playing the cookies. Just before when we were off air, I could hear them getting vocal, their supporters vocal down near us field. Well, there's a combo of them onto the right side. There's the Samoans and also some of them as well, as you can see in the background. So that's Aotearoa and Fiji in the background there. Aotearoa picking up 2 wins yesterday. Comprehensive ones against the defending champions Papua New Guinea and also Vanuatu here. So for Vanuatu, it's a matter of getting their tournament back on track. They're doing a wonderful job today.
There was a special start to the Kemu out with the Aotearoa team and Fiji, where the Aotearoa Wahine Māori's haka was responded to by some beautiful waiata from Fiji. So a very special start. Back to the cricket. In front of us, knocked out to mid-wicket just for no run. Another dot. Again, great way to keep building that pressure in the back end of this innings with Sanele, who was one of our opening bowlers, coming back into the attack.
I'd love to see her on a speed gun. Like, she's got a bit of clip, man. Just watching her in the break.
Yeah, she gets it down there, as you can see, a healthy edge, so sends the ball down towards the boundary. Good to see Chilia looking for the 2. She's gone in and out of her crease pretty quick, wants to get back on strike, which is what you want, but Andrew's probably the lead role here. Yeah,
she plays that, it's like that Kane Williamson dab down through slips and gully. Just plays with soft hands, and easy single there, must be a go-to shot.
Go-to shot just to rotate the strike. Absolute manipulator of the field by the looks. Yeah, on target again, Sanele. With, yeah, again, the field well set and well positioned with the mid-wicket fielder, not too deep sitting on the ring. She's always hunting in. She's going to be looking at the hands of the batter to see if she's like loading up for a big shot or maybe just going to be dropping it in for a quick run. So well anticipated by the fielder in there. Your Sefo in mid-wicket. Again, oh, right on target. Bit of hecticness. Have run on the shot because it was so powerful, well struck. A little bit of a misfield. You would say don't run on a misfield, but the energy was right by Vanuatu to push that through and safely home. Yeah,
that was hit with power too. It was well timed. And they do hurt.
Potentially well stopped. Need to maybe give a bit more credit to the Samoan fielder. Although it didn't take it cleanly, it was hit she missed it in 4. Again, really good line. And out to the deep mid-wicket. And well run, pushed hard for 2. No chance of 3, but definitely cashed in the 2 when possible. And we're getting very close to the end of the over.
Yes. Just forfeit from Sanele.
So the goal here, another dot. We're at the maximum, just 1 single. Yep, goal achieved, dot to finish the over, which means we're still at 75 for 4, end of the 16th over, and one final change in commentary.
Kia ora kōrua. Eru, Katie, and a bit of a trio going here. Machu Workman's back to help us out. Pete's looking for a chair, so he might be a little longer. But 75 for 4, Machu, 16th over, into party time now. What's your pick for a total?
Yeah, lots of wickets in the shed there as well. So you do expect quite a few of these quick twos that we're starting to see now. I think anything in the vicinity of around 100, 110, we're pretty competitive here.
Yeah, that 3 figures is certainly something to aim at. That is an excellent shot, lofted. Should get 2 for it, and I got to say, looked like it was worth a lot more. It was a beautiful shot by Rachel Andrew, who's been so impressive today already. Talia starts her over off, conceding a couple. That's lofted as well. Again, should just be the single down to long on. Talia had a good game against Cook Islands as well, 2 for 26 off her 4 overs. Then obviously coming into the finisher for Regina Lele'i, the captain. Pete McGlashan has found his chair. Pete, you got to give us a total pick.
114.
Ooh, that's precise. Yeah, I feel like Rachel Andrew might just be winding up a bit here. Just biding her time.
Yeah, the perfect four when you do have a pinch hitter at the other end, isn't it?
Oh, unfortunately, just snuck through. Kelia again, able to get the single. Turn the strike back to Andrew. And Talia, always a little bit more frustrating off your own bowling. She's bowling well in her 3rd over now. Bit of a fielding adjustment. I'm just pushing one a little bit wider. Lofted again. Deep mid-off's quite wide, which is fortunate. Oh, there could be a mix-up here. Both batters at one end. Got to go to the keeper's end. Tanu'u got a bit of work to do. That's out. What a good piece of fielding from Samoa. The pressure comes to bear. And unfortunately for Vanuatu, that's the end of Lemani Chilia.
Yeah, some great work there from Langi Telea at the bowler's end. Just, made sure her throw was accurate to the wicketkeeper there, Tanu'u. Had all to do, but still managed to get it off just in time. And she's down on the ground looking for a place to dig herself. That's not a place you want to be. And Chilia devastated.
You got the sense that Chilia felt she had to get Andrew back on strike, and it was, Andrew wasn't willing to take the risk. She was happy to take the single, but that mix-up is going to cost them a little bit of momentum, you suspect.
Yeah, she was always coming.
She was always coming back. Good work from the keeper. It was a high throw, did well, hat was coming off.
Yeah, get the old bat stick there where you poke it in and it just sticks in the slightly softer bit of grass. Might have even got home if she managed to slide it, but Marilisa Carlot. And now to support Andrew in these last probably 3 overs where I think that total you talked about, Pete McGlashan.
Yeah, I think I've overcooked that.
Hey, no, as long as Rachel Andrews at the crease, I'm going to go higher. Oh, big shout, and that's out. She's gone double-double. Run out, followed by an LBW first ball for Marilisa Carlo and Talia. She's got 2 wickets now, run out in her over. She's starting to make a difference here for Samoa.
Yeah, things going from good to even better for Samoa here. Just a really good opportunity to stem that momentum, and looks pretty good. And 6 down now. Vanuatu in a bit of trouble here. 3 overs to go. Their only shining light is Andrew will be on strike.
End of 17 overs, 80 for 6.
Yeah, only a few overs to go. It's been a revolving door at the other end, but Andrew has been in some form. She's been picking up boundaries regularly. I think we have got a bit of a boundary highlights package to watch, which we can show, because she has been a star, really. They did start off aggressively, scoring on both sides of the wicket. Samoa were under the pump a little bit early on, scoring at will, aggressive on the front foot, back down the ground. That really has been the strength of hers. But has dropped ball, but she's pulled through the offside. Then the left armour came on, and that's when the wicket started to tumble. So Samoa did start to fight back with that middle order bowling partnership. But really the aggression has come from hitting the ball back down the ground, slightly slower bowlers. It's been the revolving door at the other end. The Vanuatu batters constantly falling away, which has made it very, very difficult.
Put such a dent in your momentum, losing 2 wickets and 2 balls and 3 overs to go. So important that Rachel Andrew faces as many deliveries of this 18 as she possibly can.
Yeah, noho tonu mai, stay seated for some potential fireworks here.
Well, it's a full ball and it gets the treatment, but good protection out there. Oh, Rachel Andrew probably thought, oh, I should have got a gap there. Maybe help myself to a boundary, but Sanele, she'll now bowl at Mansale, who's the new batter, Vicky Mansale. She's played 25 matches for PNG, so got some good experience. You see Rachel Andrew there, she's hunting the strike for sure. Pete, what do you think she should be saying to Mansale about the approach for the next 3 overs?
Yeah, I mean, her job is just to get off strike and give Andrew the strike, and it's good to see the Samoa just bringing mid-off up to try and recognise that, to try and keep the new batter on strike, because they've done a wonderful job of denying the opening batter much strike here at all throughout this innings.
Oh, squeezes one through there. Again, Lele'i, who's been so good all day there on that side of the field. And now she sends back Aotearoa Māori, who she brought up to try and keep that single down. So excellent captaincy and good tactical nous there. So Nelliot now bowling at Andrew. Needs to make sure she's giving her no width to swing her arms. Like that. That's a good hit. Straight. They get down. Oh, good effort. That's hard luck. It was a very, very good effort to try and cut that boundary off by Samoa. But unfortunately, it snuck through, and that is the boundary that Andrew's been looking for.
You could almost see the plan unfold there, couldn't you, really? Anything straight was something she was going to go after. It was lofted in the air, and despite the protection there just underneath, and that goes away for a very, very much needed for Vanuatu there.
That hand speed there, Pete, very impressive. Hit straight.
Yeah, great contact, and I think the long-on fielder was almost deceived. It thought they had more time to get round, and it kicked on pretty quickly after that first bounce. She's come straighter and gives Andrew the opportunity to drag it further wide.
Which is exactly what she does. Just plays it through mid-wicket. Is just the single again. So Mansale will need to face the last delivery. You'd have to think the conversation here is it's 0, 2 or 4. Leave me the strike.
Yeah, for that reason, Lele'i's left long off back to try and tempt her and to take the single. So, battle of wills here.
Well, surprisingly, Rachel Andrews called that run through. However, they all do count, so important to take them when they're on off it. The LBW shout wasn't adjacent, it was heading down leg. So good decision there by Tina Simmons, the umpire, and that is the end of 18 overs.
Yeah, interesting story about Mansale. Of course, the daughter comes from a very proud sporting family. The daughter of Eddie Mansale, the former dual international for Vanuatu in both football and cricket. And of course, Eddie Mansale, of course, the former high-performance coach as well. Eddie was the brother of Andrew Mansale, who, of course, the former ex-captain of the Vanuatu cricket team too. So another generation in the family at the highest level here.
I was going to say one of those families. A bit like the McGlashans. Good at everything. That's excellent. She goes hard, does Mansale. That's a good shot for her. She's got to attack it. At the same time, she's picked up a single, but also brought Rachel Andrew back on strike. Telia in her final over, bearing in mind her last game, 2 for 26. Looking like going under that today. It could be a new personal best for the tournament for her. Innovation, that struck her in front, and that is out. I have to agree with Tina Simmons there. It was some good innovation, but just didn't quite get the execution right, Machu.
No, that's right. I think she was probably looking for one shot too many down that leg side. Telia's bowled it just enough to make sure to deceive the batter. Looking to turn it around the corner, and if we look at the replay here, very, very premeditated, right in front, and that's an easy decision for the umpire. Andrew walks off. After a brave knock, she's held the innings together. She's held her bat to this point. It's a crucial knock for Vanuatu, who now have to scramble their way to some sort of respectability towards the end of this innings.
But she's been crucial for Vanuatu, Pete.
Yeah, that ability to carry a bat this deep in the innings, gives the side a chance to build around him. There haven't been many others that have contributed to the total, but the fact that she's been there right through the end has meant they've got a score on the board, which will be getting close to 3 figures. Yeah, you just felt that she tried to hit the ball a little bit too square. If she was looking to hit mid-wicket, probably would have had a better chance of making contact. But any time you start to square yourself around that far, you're presenting less and less of the cricket bat to the approaching ball and reducing the chances of making impact. And that's been one of the strengths of Talia, is she's just almost like a bowling machine. Every single delivery has been in pretty much the same place, and hence getting the LBWs that she has.
Absolutely, for 42 of 42, Rachel Andrew eventually out LBW to Talia. An important performance. And Melissa Whare in now. It's a good shot off first ball. Oh, they'll take a single. It was well stopped down there. It was travelling quickly. But Samoa, who's been busy as well, under that floppy hat, she makes a good stop. Rachel Andrew, an early candidate. If Vanuatu get out on top today for the South Seas Healthcare Player of the Day. Oh, that's tickled round nicely. Won't be a run though. Well fielded there. Samoa have just got there, just in a ring. Their fielding distance is very, very good.
Yeah, these singles are starting to look quite tight, really, aren't they? A lot of noise in that, in a ring. A lot of support here for Talia. He's bowling brilliantly here in her 4th over.
It's been smacked into the cover, still no run. Again, yes, sort of very hard to penetrate this in a ring. Samoa. Regina Lele'i's got them in the right place, and she's got the right fielders in the right places as well. Mapu's strong behind square leg. Samoa also being strong. And that's gone through it. Good bowling, Talia. That's 3 for 16 for her so far. It's her best bowling of the tournament, and she's deserved that. She's been very, very accurate in asking the batters to take risks, and at this stage of the game, that's what has to happen. But Mansale loses her leg stump, and 90 for 8.
Yeah, Vanuatu have looked good this tournament so far. It was going to take something special, and Langi Talia with career best figures here, 4 for previous high of 3 for 3. She's done her country proud as she raises both arms into the air there, and all of a sudden it's going to take something special in this last over, I think, Pete, for them to reach 100 at this point, Vanuatu.
Yeah, they just needed a bit of momentum at the end, but this is exactly what Samoa needed. They had a really good bowling partnership through the middle, and they wrestled back control, and then they've been all over this last 4 to 5 overs, which means when they come out to bat, they should be pretty pleased with themselves into the final over. If they can keep this under 7 or 8 off this last over, then they'll be chasing a score under 100, which is pretty good going, because it takes that pressure off to get boundaries. If you're scoring less than a run a ball, means you can knock the ball about and take your time.
Absolutely. Ta'alili Yosefo back to bowl this final over for her country. 2 overs so far, none for 11. Her return. Bowling to Whare. Oh, it's into the offside. Just be a single. Talia couldn't quite gather that cleanly. Looks like she's feeling the effects of her overs.
She's looking a bit sore. Yeah, in that last over, she was sort of held at the top of her mark a couple of times. She stopped. So 2 days of cricket back-to-back is just taking its toll on her.
Oh, another mix-up. And at the bowler's end this time, Iosefo makes no mistake in taking the bails off. Just trying to push for those extra runs, and Tarimiala may have been run out without facing a ball there.
It just goes from bad to worse here for Vanuatu, doesn't it? It's a pressure situation. You're trying to get as many runs as you can in the last over of the innings. And a nice full ball on middle stump there, driven to mid-off. A blind run from the non-striker. And a beautiful little celebration there at the end, saying, that's for me, thanks very much. And all of a sudden, Vanuatu 9 down.
Well, the hardest thing for Vanuatu is that all these wickets are dot balls when they really need to be piling on the runs. And we talked about that 3 figures being a bit of a psychological win, but also it's a lot to chase on this pitch, these boundaries.
What do you think about the field set here, Pete, in terms of a few out deep for the last sort of 4 balls of the innings here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're getting this far down the order, it's not really necessary, but...
Ooh, good effort. Oh, it's another great piece of fielding there. That is sharp, and that is very close, but not out, says Tina Simmons. That was impressive. It's probably the best piece of fielding I've seen so far. Sanele, Jacinta Sanele, acrobatic.
And that was an incredible appeal from Ta'alili Iosefo there. I think she was screaming at the umpire, who eventually gave it not out, but just wouldn't they go? That's an incredible piece of work there. Great throw to Iosefo. Takes the bails off cleanly and asks the world's biggest question. Stares her down, and eventually the umpire says, not out.
So it was in fact Whare who was run out for the last wicket. Tarimiala still there, joined by Natalia Kako. Iosefo, 3 balls to go. Well, Vanuatu with 3 balls to try and hit runs. Well, it's lofted to the vacant mid-on area. Lele'i put herself there because she knows that that's probably going to be a fairly busy part of town.
That's an example of that field you're talking about, though, isn't it, Matu, where the mid-on's up, there's no single there.
Oh, good hit. That's an excellent hit. Some good protection out there, though. It's been hard trying to get these runs against Samoa. But Ayatasi with a great throw back in. Some good fielding from her. Just to keep that down to 1 as we approach the final ball of the innings.
Well, that'll teach me that it's gone fairly deep. So, you know, if that's brought in, it could have been more than 1. So, it might know something I don't, to be fair.
It's been swatted. Opportunity. Not quite. Couldn't quite gather it and couldn't quite get the throw on target, Sanele. But that is the end of the innings here. And Vanuatu managed to keep their last wicket, just losing 9. They pick up 95, which will mean 96 is the target for Samoa to win this game. And it's been a good effort from Samoa, but there's the Vanuatu card right up top there, Rachel Andrew. She was so impressive, 42 off 42, 100 strike rate. Good opening partnership for 38 with Aona. And after that, a little bit of support from Chilia there with 16, but just the single figures for others. There were a lot of run-outs, a lot of pressure, as Vanuatu tried to really pile on the runs, but against a very, very good Samoan bowling attack. Well rotated by Regina Lili'i, their captain. And the star of that show, you'll see here, is Langitalia. Talia got 4 for 16. And Iona, who is so miserly, she was the only one who bowled a maiden, probably one of the few in the tournament. She gets 3 for 6. And as well as that, a couple of run-outs, but some good support there. Potu, just the 4 of her overs, 4 runs, and Sema was miserly as well. It was a good arm wrestle, you'd have to say, in this innings. Very, very entertaining cricket, as will the chase be. Join us in 15 minutes or so, where Samoa will try and hunt down their 96 to win.
and warm Pacific greetings and welcome to the Howard Papua Cricket Grounds for our day 2 of the South Seas Pacifica Cup. And on behalf of the South Seas and the New Zealand Cricket Association, I want to welcome all our families who are here this afternoon. A beautiful afternoon, day 2, and we have more cricket to come with our second innings starting very shortly. Don't forget, we're here again tomorrow, where we start at 10:30 and go right through to 5:36. And encouraging all our families to let your friends and families know that we do have some awesome cricket coming up in the next few days on Friday, and then we rest on Saturday, and of course the finals happening on Sunday right here at the cricket ground. Just a reminder, we have our food trucks, and we're still here for another 30 minutes. If you want something to eat, and pop down over there to the car park where we have our food stalls. We also have Mr. Whippy there. And if your kids want an ice cream, go and visit the family zone. Pop in to see the team there and grab yourself a voucher to get an ice cream. And we have plenty of games happening over there at the family zone. And of course we've got our clinical outreach team here. And we've got plenty of water here should you want some water. We'll just come down and say hi to the team here. We do offer our free health checks. And we're here for another hour. So thank you for coming through. Another lovely afternoon. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And all the best to our teams that are playing this evening, right through to 5:36.
No mai hoki mai, kia tātou to this game at Pakuranga against Samoa and Vanuatu. We just saw Vanuatu finish with 95 for 9 from their 20 overs. So a big chase on for Samoa in the second innings, requiring 96 to win this kemu. What did you guys see from that first innings, guys?
Yeah, some excellent bowling there from the Samoans as well to restrict them under 100, especially from Owena as well, Felicia Owena. She is of course, got the old number 5 on the back. And from the looks of it, she's been promoted to the top of the order to bat. She's at the non-striker's end. But yeah, no, very impressed with her left arm swing in that first ball to take middle stump for me. Yeah, paira wātu ana mahi e panga.
Yeah, plenty of celebrations, probably back at her home villages of Vaiteleuta, Lalovi, Mulifunua and Manotai. It's great to see a good half of the Samoan squad have come from the islands, and
looks like Jacinta Sarnielli will be facing. Just have to. Definitely looks like her stance from the other game that I saw her yesterday as well. Just watching her.
Nice. So opening the bowling and now the batting. So obviously a lot of props for this young player as well within the Samoan lineup. First ball, good energy. First ball, and this is Andrew coming in to bowl, coming off the back of her solid knock in the first innings. So I guess when you're hot, you're hot. And they've given her the ball to try and dislodge a few Samoan wickets early.
When was the last time you opened the batting and the bowling, you do?
The bowling, 2000 and never. But the batting, 2012. No, 13. 2013. Last time I went into bat, 49 and bowled.
49 and bowled. Oh,
Yeah.
karoha. Andrew started well here, just 2 dots so far in her first over. This is going to be the pressure they're going to want to build early on, is just dots, not giving away easy singles. They're putting third man back, just not wanting to risk any edges going for any more than just a single.
Of course, putting a third man on the boundary there. Yeah, that's Kakoa there on the third man.
Another defensive shot, just pushed back to mid-off.
Ko ia te wahine tō tēnei kapa ne, Andrew. Obviously, almost about 90 runs in this tournament so far, and yeah, she's looking really strong up in front with the ball as well. So if you're Samoa here, it might just be a case of dealing with her as much as you can and looking for runs elsewhere.
Another dot. Pressure run. But, well, from up here, I'm saying safe. And so is the umpire. We'll see on the highlight how close that was.
It's always close when it's a direct hit, and you know, if you're Samoan fans, you'll be holding your heart in your hands there. Definitely a risky run there. That looked really close.
That was very tight.
I'd like to see that again on the replay if we can. It looked pretty, you know.
With no opportunity to go upstairs for the umpires, it's going to be one of those situations where benefit of the doubt will always go to the batter.
Who'd want to be a kaiwawao? Who would want to be an umpire in a situation like that? Such an important start that Samoa need to get off to. High stakes and yeah, big decisions made in the middle there.
Yeah, Bags not be an umpire.
No. Quick change in the field there as well. Square legs just been moved out to sort of a cover, and kind of that backward square has now been shifted round to square legs. So small protection in the covers there.
Yeah. Well, just knocked into the leg side. We've got a left-hand, right-hand batting combination out there. So with that will come a need for Andrew to change her line each ball. Here's the replay of...
So this was the run out here. Just picked it up from cover. Throwing that if we... Oh, that's got to be by the barest of margins. Tino tata tēnā. However, as you mentioned before, Katie, yeah, we don't have the benefit of the third umpire. But gee whiz.
Yeah, well knocked into the offside. And the good thing from Samoa, they're looking for the runs. Like, absolutely, if you're knocking it in, you're going to have to take on the risk of maybe a direct run out. But with no ability to go upstairs for those direct hits, like say, like the benefit of the doubt always goes to the batsman. So you're sort of playing the percentages there, smart cricket. And the end of the over, 2 without loss.
And if you're Samoa, never in doubt. Never in doubt. You know, they'll look at that and say, well placed.
I guess, you know, inoi atu ki ICC, tukuna mai te pūtia, ICC, give us some funding so we can get some more cameras and...
Vanuatu might be in there, and Samoa was like, nah, he te pai.
Yeah, engari anō aha moa. Yeah, hoi anō, you know, called safe, yeah, it was called safe by the umpire, so we move on.
Tricky power play this for Samoa to approach, really, isn't it? It's a small target, but at what point do you have to go for it? We know that Vanuatu are going to be very miserly in the field. We've seen that already. At what point do you start to launch? If you're Awina or you're Sanele, at what point do you think you do?
I think the biggest thing here is just, you know, get set, use a low target, use the first 3 to 4 overs, just get a feel for the pitch, rotate the strike, assess it after 3 overs.
Captain's brought herself onto bolt. Selena Solman just knocked out again into the leg side first ball. But tidy start, like attacking the stumps. The goal of these bowlers is just going to want to keep the stumps in play. Every ball makes Samoa play. If they miss, then Vanuatu hit, wicket gone.
And the thing I'd probably cut is risky runs. You don't need to run those risky runs. Of course, that was... many of these teams, I should say, the demise yesterday was R unouts.
Good player. Great player.
R unouts.
Yeah, on the mark. It's a bit of tip and run, but put the pressure on the field and you can create your own luck. So Samoa doing that at the moment. This potentially just might be their MO, a bit of a Tipney kind of style game.
Yeah, and I think if you've got someone like Ailawa Awina, you know, with all of her experience to come through, I think she's just going to be in Sanele's ear and just saying, look, where we can, we'll just put pressure back on the fielders and try to get those runs as early as we can.
Oh, that Tino Tata ki te tumo very close to that stump.
I think they might have been
I
I feel like they would have been bat on foot, or we did hear the sound from the right. Yeah, it's about to hit the ground.
Irungai te papa, I think. So very close, though. Worth a shout. Turned down by the Kaiwawa.
Yeah, well struck. Obviously would have liked to maybe cash in more than one with a full toss, but at this stage in the game early on, just retaining the strike, both batters getting themselves to find some rhythm with a run rate required not being excessive, just under 5s and over. They've got the luxury of being able to just give themselves a little bit of time to work their way into the innings with just, you know, run a ball stuff. And when they're running like that on everything, then one run of ball is easy as.
Yeah, no, I'd be gassed by now how many singles they've run. But again, they've also got that artificial in play, don't they? That's a very dangerous area for that ball to bounce. Could go anywhere. So any singles in that sort of area, I think, are going to be reasonably well educated.
Yeah, as a fielder in that area, you're just always aware that once the ball hits the astroturf, it can take a funny turn or just kick on a bit differently. Oh, straight through it, gone. First wicket of the afternoon for Vanuatu. Unfortunately, Awina has to depart for 3 runs, but great delivery again, just swinging back into her middle stump.
Ai, te unga tuatahi here, and she is pumped. Solomon there doing a great job, and we did sort of hope that it would be a cautious start. We did think it was going to be cautious, and a very important wicket gone now for Samoa.
What that does mean, though, we've got Regina Li'i from in at number 3 coming to the crease. Her role here is to anchor the innings from this point on. As the senior leader, as skipper of this unit, she will be hoping to guide the team through. She'll be talking to the players at the other end.
And of course, her rallies from Leova'a and Waimoso. Those villagers will be extremely proud of her, the contribution that she's done. 12 matches for Samoa, Auckland Hearts representative. And for Papatoetoe Cricket Club as well. Handy strike rate of 77, especially for situations like this when you just need to, you know, settle, Gretel. And all that experience too, first class and international level, will come in handy for a situation like this where, and still a bit of belief as well. Handy target to chase down there, 96.
That wicket also brought an end to the second over, so currently 6 for 1 wicket into the third over. Play and miss from Sinele. Bowlers on target. Vanuatu really up at the moment. You can feel their energy even for us sitting back here in the pavilion. There's going to be, just like we saw in the first innings, that arm wrestle of energy. Just one team wanting to try and minimise the energy impact of the other. And at the moment, I'd say Vanuatu are sort of winning that battle. Again, just a dot. And the longer these dots occur, even though the required run rate again isn't massively high.
Yeah, well fielded there in mid-off by Alvina Chilia. She's got a bit of considerable size and strength too. Hits the deck quite hard, Rachel Andrew.
Yeah, when the ball's hitting you more than you hitting it, it's a bit of a mental one there. Full toss, and taka te poro. It's been put down at mid-wicket. The batter's almost more disappointed than anything, which I'd be celebrating. Still there, so haere tonu e hoa. Keep on going.
Just want to see if we've got that. Probably got that on replay on another camera angle, but yeah, you're right too. We didn't see it in shot there live in action, but we can get it after the next ball. You see, after she's played that, it's almost like I don't know if she was disappointed not to get out, or perhaps the shot that she played.
If anything, maybe she just had a talk with Regina during the over break. Don't do anything silly. We're all good. Oh, put down a chance.
Yeah, well, Regina Lili also came down at the end of that ball after that dismissal.
Yeah, here it is, and
told her to
comes
settle
back,
down.
and then probably just missed out. But just after that, she got back in the crease, and then
bats over her head. Oh, bent over.
The good leadership there from Lili to just go down again, just to remind her, kei te pai, ka haere tātou anō. Let's go again.
Well bowled, finding that channel, bringing it forward, playing and missing. This is exactly the pressure Vanuatu want to build early on. And Andrew also got the ball a bit on a string at the moment. No runs off this over. We'll be looking to finish it off. Another dot to make a maiden. Oh, inside edge. Could potentially go all the way based on the pace of Andrew. Yep.
Kua rere te poro. The ball has flown to the boundary there ki te wha.
And yet another run to E extras. Of course, those doesn't go to the bowler there. And that just see it.
Yeah, a little inside edge there. You can see Andrew there with her hands on her head. The end of that would have been a 5 dot balls to that point, and then the pressure just released just at the end of the over there.
No, it looks like she did get an inside edge on that. As I've been informed, the umpire didn't signal the bye call. And you'll take them however you want too. I always got runs down that way. It's my favourite spot. So yeah, 10 for 1 after the 3rd over.
And poor Andrew hadn't done anything wrong. 5 great deliveries. To be fair, 6 great deliveries. The last one maybe being one of the better of them, but 4 off it, and that is the game of kirikiti.
Yeah, it can be a cruel sport, can't it? Sometimes you think you're doing everything right, and then all of a sudden, it just takes one shot, one ball to rot the figures a wee bit. So she's got her hands on her hips, and she'll go again.
First ball of the 4th over. Just Regina pushing it a little bit outside off, playing and missing. She'll just have to keep reminding herself that she's got plenty of time, and she's got all the talent, all the skill to be able to just anchor this innings. So plenty of time. She'll just have to keep talking to her partner at the other end as well. Yep. Angling at the pads. Their mid-wicket appears to maybe have just pushed in a little bit tighter where there was early singles being taken. That Vanuatu field is now a little bit tighter, trying to really restrict those sneaky singles early on.
I like to see Solomon pitch it, the short ball, give it a crack.
And cut away backward of point. Regina pushing half for 2, gets the maximum of 4 on offer whilst hitting along the grass. Great shot, using the pace, using the quickness of the outfield to get great value.
Yeah, Aotearoa Māori backward point, a very, very underutilised area, and Lili'i just waits on it, pushes it backward a point, and it rolls away. This outfield has definitely quickened up since yesterday with all of the sun that we've had over the last couple of days.
Yeah, Regina just seeing the ball a little bit short, a little bit outside off, and making full value. A little bit fuller this time, back angling in on that off stump. Nowhere for Regina, ready to go, just pushing it back into the offside. So, after 4 balls this over, with 4 runs on the board, that's a good result for Vanuatu. And potential run out. Tight, but well called through by the non-striker, deciding to, let's run with the shot.
Yeah, that's a bit of a strategy that Vanuatu will have to be wary of. They had quite a few run-out opportunities against Aotearoa Māori yesterday as well. Didn't quite execute all of them, so they'll be aware of, just being a bit sharper in the field, a bit more accurate with their throwing, and trying to stop this Samoan charge.
Last ball of the over, just knocked out to a fine leg, hustled through for 1, and that's the end of the 4th over, 16 for 1. Vanuatu hustling through their overs early on, and that brings a change in the commentary team.
Against the Magicians in a reduced match. Needed 14 off it, so it's still 3 balls in. And an exciting matchup out here too, 16 for 1 off 4. Sanele and Lili'i out there Let's lay this platform for the Samoan chase. She'd have to say is a safe start.
Tell you what, there's plenty of ecstasy in that Samoan dugout. They're watching 2 games at one. I think they're also watching that Brave game as well.
Yeah, I'll get you an update shortly. Karonga Feli couldn't be here today for the Pacific Cup. She was here yesterday. And she took a good catch for the Brave today, alongside Marama Downs, her teammate, who took 2 wickets. It's just tickled nicely around the corner for a single. Well, just got the good oil from Edu Paranihi. Karonga Feli managed to get her team home, and they have a win against the Magicians in the Super Smash, which is crucial for their table chances. And now time for her teammates to do a double. And Mansalet just drifting down leg there.
Surprisingly nimble, that Edu. It's a quick bit of information that's come to and from that television. Fair play, that man.
Absolutely. Oh, playing a miss there, Lele'i. She did the right thing, put her foot across. Sometimes I've seen a little bit, not much foot movement. She did the right thing, but it's not enough bounce for her. It's experienced player versus, not versus, but alongside Sanele. That's a good shout, but probably just sliding down leg. And Sanele, she's 19 years old. She's had 17 matches. That would have been wide, probably. Went for it. Run rate at the moment just nudging up to 3.9, requiring 5. So once this partnership's underway, a bit of work for these two to do. Oh, and the misfield leaks the single, unfortunately, for Vanuatu.
It's just little moments like that, isn't it, Pete, where he's starting to build a bit of pressure, 3 dot balls in a row, looks like a 4th, and it just through the legs just eases a little bit of pressure, doesn't it? And that may all be your need.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing you're looking for as a batter in this situation. Because the bowler's bowling very well, gentle little off spinners, all pretty much in the right area. And Samoa just being held there, just seeing the worm of the 2 innings. And Samoa have started off slowly. It was a big partnership from Vanuatu, which set them up well, and then we see that line start to plateau out a little bit through the middle, which was when Samoa fought back. So they do need to build a partnership. Run rate required, not anything too scary at the moment, just over 5. As long as you have a partnership, as long as there's 2 players that have been in for a while, you've got every chance of picking up a boundary here or there.
It's obviously quite a big learning opportunity for Sanele here as well. High score of 14 not out, so she's going to have to better that. And she's got Regina Lele'i at the other end who can just help, I think, work her through her innings and help build some confidence. And this may be the partnership they need, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah, just struggling to get it. I guess piling any runs up together. There's some good bowling on offer. Navaika there. Just there's a bit of width, but unable to probably just use the power that you've seen from others. And again, same thing. Not necessarily too much attacking yet. Might be being just a little bit safe. But it means those fielders can squeeze in and put pressure on. Oh, attempted sweep shot there. It was a wide one. Didn't catch up with it. If she had, I think it would have tickled away to the boundary. That's important. Pete, what's your take on how high you allow that required run rate to get before you have to sort of change something? Just pinching a single there.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because the boundaries haven't been particularly free-flowing. We've seen significant spells in the first innings where bowlers could get on top, and it was a type of surface with pace off the ball. It was hard to create any momentum. So I think 6 or 7 is something where you don't really want it to creep into the 8s. 8s sort of you need a boundary and over. Anything under 6 or 7 you don't.
Oh, and that's been straight through. Navaika gets her reward for some good tight bowling, and Sanele, unfortunately, tries to go for one. You can understand why, because they are needing to kind of get this run rate ticking along, but does not make contact with it. And some good in-dip there.
It's been some good off-spin bowling, Matthew. We saw that yesterday as well, didn't we? Aotearoa woman as well, turning the ball back through the gate. It's a weakness for a lot of batters as they develop their careers, that ball that is close enough to the stumps that they want to score off it, but equally a threat if they do leave a gap between bat and pad.
Yeah, quite an asphyxiating field as well, isn't it? You know, there's quite a few people in close there. You sort of start to get a little bit weary about where those gaps are going to be, and so opportunities where the eyes start to light up and you start to swing across the line a bit, you start to misjudge the line, and we've seen that again there from Samoa. It's a small total, as we've said, isn't it? But it's about making sure that you earn the right to push on and kick on for that score midway through the innings. And the Leti's going to have to play a key role here to keep the innings together, I feel.
So Alii Iosefo joins here at the crease now from Leova'a, Lufi Lufi villages. Shout out to those villages over in Samoa. Hopefully your girl can get a partnership here. Hopefully for Samoa, get a partnership here with Regina Lelei and start building a bit of a comeback. Asphyxiating, Machu. It's impressive.
Yeah, just don't ask me how to spell it.
I was going to say, what's the real word for asphyxiation?
Yeah.
Well, it's a wee way down the leg side, and we have to bowl that again. Navaika, after having a good, accurate one for the last delivery.
Been impressed by the Vanuatu wicketkeeper wearing a mask, which is obviously going to appeal to me as someone who's one of the first wicketkeepers to wear a mask. But it's great to see her standing right up to the stumps. It's something which in the women's game you don't always see.
Yeah, I agree. And she must have grown up idolising you, Pete.
Yeah, I agree.
With the mask approach. And of course now in modern cricket every keeper wears a helmet, which is not something you and I probably did too much of, Pete, but I agree.
It's fair to say the reverse sweep is common fodder now,
yeah, exactly. Well, it's short and pulled away. She'll get at least one. And from what I've seen so far, all the keepers on display have got great skills. I mean, Jess McFadge is an obvious one. They've also got Holly Top in the Aotearoa Māori squad. You can all, I think, stand up. They've got the skills. 6 overs gone. That's the end of the power play. 23 for 2.
Yeah, it's often just the confidence. It's the being willing to take the bruises and the sore fingers and all the things that the thankless part of being a wicketkeeper, and have the courage to almost force yourself on the game.
Yep.
You know, actually be noticed, make your bowler better by standing up and not letting the batter come out of the crease.
Yeah, I agree.
Even little things like players playing across in front of their pads if the wicketkeeper's up. Things start to happen if the wicketkeeper's standing up to the stumps and putting pressure on.
Yeah, good keepers, they approach a game and think, how can I create a dismissal for my team? How can I support that bowler better? Have them do something they don't even probably think they can do. Anyway, you get enough bruises from throws from the outfield, so what's a couple more? No, it's accurate too. Not much to play with here for Samoa.
It's all just a big learning experience as well, isn't it, for the Samoa team? Of the 16 players, 7 are making their debut at this tournament. 8 teenagers in the squad as well, so these sorts of tournaments where you have quite a few games in only a few days, all you can do is learn, isn't it?
Yeah, It's the start of the rest, isn't it? Mansale off radar again. And then we were talking to Pete earlier about his experience in the Pacific Cup. The Aotearoa Māori men's team, the Tāne, over 20 years ago. Pete, again, not trying to age you, but I guess what we've seen since then, you talked about some of the players you came through with, Jesse Ryder. There would have been quite a few.
The camaraderie was that. So we were staying on the same floor as in the hostel as the Cook Islands team. And there were friendships from just being in the same dorm as those guys, which lived on way beyond. You know, I was fortunate enough to go on and play professional cricket, but I'd still come across Dunu and Big John playing in South Auckland club cricket, and, you know, and this is 7, 8, 9, 10 years after you'd played against them at that tournament.
Well, it's in the air. And what a catch that is, a running catch. It's not easy to take. Kept her eyes on it the whole way. Managed to pouch it there. Selena Natalia Kako, sorry, number 7 there. That is so impressive. Good at watching the ball, following it the whole way.
Just got have they both got? We've got 2 shirts on, I think. There's the wicketkeeper and the person who took the catch have both got the same shirt on, so it is Melissa.
Yeah. Someone's playing a prank on the commentators here.
It's always difficult.
But at the end of the day, the main thing, take away from that, is a very good piece of fielding. To get rid of Il Sefo, who wasn't able to hang around with Regina Leleti long. And Samoa find themselves 24 for 3.
Yeah, these sorts of tournaments, there's the growth that happens on the field, but then there's also the growth that happens off the field. The fact that the team are staying together for 3 or 4 nights in the same accommodation, that opportunity to compare notes. I think from they may well be going along to the Super Smash games at Eden Park on Saturday, so a chance to see, you know, professional women's the game live as well. So the growth is so much more than just the technical stuff. It's that opportunity for countries like this to come together and have a sustained period together where they can, you know, share notes. And
Pautu is the new batter in. Whaunga Pautu. There was a big shout first ball. The umpire says no. Just drifting down. There's some excitement building for Vanuatu. You can feel that. I think also, Pete, and saw some of that at the opening ceremony at the Whale the other night. Just sharing of cultures too, learning about each other's cultures. Some are the same, some things the same, even some of the reo. You know, there's some similar roots to some of the words, but learning all that as well. Mansale continues with their accurate attack.
And they're all staying in the same accommodation as well, so it's that opportunity to sort of just bypass each other, isn't it, every day, going to breakfast or doing your laundry and things like that. That's another opportunity for that soft bonding to take place as well.
Just trying to work around the leg side. Good call by Leleti, calling her through. There was always one there, and it's prompted a misfield, the pressure on the field. That's what happens. Good batting, Leleti, even though she's at the other end. Good calling. That brings 7 overs to an end, 26 for 3.
Yeah, those little extra runs are going to be vital in this tight chase. You do get the sense that Samoa are a little bit behind the 8 ball here. They're going to need a true captain's knock to get them close, to keep this competitive. Vanuatu have done a good job. Generally been spin the whole way through the innings, pretty tight, a little bit of turn, and they've kept quite aggressive fields as well.
Vanuatu coming to this fixture on the top of the table, albeit after 1 round, but their net run rate's very high, over 6. And that's usually a sign of a team that's well organised and can chase quickly if they have to, and set some good targets. So for Samoa, however, they're at 4th, or the win and a loss. So vital one for them today.
As mentioned earlier, again, similar sort of strategy to when they played Aotearoa Māori. They were defending 91, and it took 19.4 overs for Aotearoa to get there, so they know what they're doing.
Navaika continues. And that's, again, just a single. You mentioned earlier, Pete, Aotearoa Māori, obviously they're part of the tournament, but their matches don't have international status. So important for the Pacifica teams to make sure they make the most of every game where they can get points, and obviously use the Aotearoa Māori games as good practice.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to test themselves. Obviously, Regina, we've spoken about her experience playing in the Super Smash here in New Zealand, but for many of these players, it's only ever when they come together in the international formats that they get that genuine competition. So.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the significance as well of this tournament and the announcement that this tournament's going to be held here for another couple of years. You know, a good opportunity for these countries to now future plan, to know that this is on the calendar and to start to prepare in advance of these sorts of tournaments as well.
That's a good shot through the offside. Still just the one. No real power and no real intent of power so far that we've seen. A little hard when you're losing wickets at irregular intervals. I know that'll be in Regina Lili'i's mind.
It's wide down the leg side again. Good take from the wicket keeper, standing up. Wide signalled by the bowler. So Navaika in her second over, potentially just tiring a little bit. She's had wide in each over, which has been dragged down.
Well, here's some intent. That's been hit high and, oh, just over the top. It was a really good effort. It's backing back, that's always hard. But unfortunately, couldn't quite rein it in. Laumori, Chilia. And first bit of I don't know, fight back from Samoa I've seen. It's exciting. And I don't think that Vanuatu will mind that. Their captain, Solomon, think, okay, we might be in here. There's sun to hit out. Navaika finishes her second over. She has 1 for 10, and after 8, 32 for 3. Run rate now at 4, but required 5.3. So it's at that point in the game where I think there needs to be a little bit of a catalyst. And to talk you through that will be Katie Perkins, Eru Paranihi.
Yeah, that shot from Potu there, I think maybe just signalled what Samoa need to do more of. Haven't had enough of a rotation of the strike here, and they do find themselves going just 4 run over. So, no, if they can just sort of keep in and around that 4-5 over mark, 5 runs and over mark, they'll get close. Again, it is just about learning. You know, with these sorts of tournaments, you know, you do have a lot of opportunities to learn, to grow. And again, for all these debutants in this squad, this is just a great opportunity to be able to gel, to have that whakawhanaungatanga, and most importantly, to grab that mātauranga, that really important knowledge for future tournaments as well.
Regina's now seen, 14 balls, so she's getting her eye in, and as I've heard you guys saying, she's going to be a bit of the key for the back end of the innings to get Samoa close or over the line. Lovely flowing run up. No ball I can see has been called by the umpire, so potentially has overstepped in her stride. So it's going to be a free hit.
Anei rā, ko te patunga utu kore, a free hit. Of course, the old translation there meaning free of consequences. Patunga utu kore in te reo Māori.
Kia ora.
Regina just letting Potu know, yeah, it's a free hit, so go for goal, Hoa.
Natalia Kakor, who's bowling now, she won't be happy with that, won't be pleased with herself.
Well, doesn't matter how it gets off the bat, it's trickling way towards the boundary, is going to get there. 4 runs. I don't know if you've heard it through the mic, but Samoa happy about that.
I think that's got to be the first time in my T20 experience watching, as we just see big swing and a miss, but no, they did clip. For some reason here, it looked like it was a miss, but no, the umpire has signalled. I was actually going to say there, it looked like the first, or the bye too, but no, got bet on that. I stand corrected. Kua whakatikaina hau. I stand corrected.
And all of a sudden, it's 6 off the first ball of the over. And that's a pretty important marker there for Samoa to know that, you know, even if they don't get any other runs in this over, 6 is ahead of the required rate. So it'll only give them more confidence to high down that, get more runs into the bank for the over.
They're only 3 wickets down. The experience of Lili'i out in the middle, Po too, if he can just hang in around there. He's almost scored as much as your captain too.
Yeah, just pushed out again into the offside for no run. But as you say, 6 runs off the first legitimate ball of the over. And the run rate required versus the current run rate, it's, how do you describe that? Points apart? Points of a run apart? I didn't do well at maths.
Ko te manawa taki o ngā omanga tērā, as we see single picked up from the onside there, the run rate. Just if they can keep the required run rate just under 5, and eventually scoreboard pressure does come into factor as well. So they're going at a good clip at the moment, but you kind of want to bat out to 10 overs and perhaps start playing with a bit of positive intent as well. Look for the space, you know, look for some of the spaces, run your singles, look for 2s. Eventually 2s become 4s, 4s and 6s, and then, mea rawa ke.
Accurate but full, driven straight to cover for no run. 2 to come, still in the over. And that's the thing for Vanuatu now, to also manage their vibe out there when it feels like when the opposition aren't giving their wickets away as easily as they're coming earlier. The runs are starting to flow. So how do we conquer this? How do we stay up to stay engaged in the Kemu? Good shot by Regina, straight down the ground, heading out to long off. Who'll spit it up cleanly, just the 1 run.
Yeah, some hard hands there, so it went fairly quickly out there to long off, and they could only really get 1. But again, it's just a matter of having a chat as a couple of batters out there to say we've got 8 off the over so far, almost twice the required. You know, it sort of allows you to have a free ball or 2, doesn't it? Again, just to continue to grow and get bat on ball.
And off the outside edge, trickled down towards the boundary, going to run all the way. Great way to finish the over for Samoa. Another 4, and that makes it 12 off that over of Kakor.
Yeah, 44 for 3 now after 9 overs. It's, you know, it does, like you said earlier, Kate, it doesn't really matter how they come. They all appear the same on the score sheet, don't they? You know, bookended 4s at either end of the over. It means that Samoa may just be starting to get a momentum here.
Speaking of Samoa, we've got the dugout right next to us, and there's probably the loudest cheer I have heard for a boundary. And, you know, that says something too. It definitely says the Wairua within their camp. They believe, though, just a couple of overs, they get this pair going, put on a good partnership, and, you know, anything's possible. So I feel like I just want them to score some runs so they can cheer. If they're over there, give us a wave. No, they're really concentrating on the game. If we can get a few more 4s, we can get them cheering, make some noise, and who knows, eh?
Well, Selena Solomon into bowl. Skipper's like, right, I'll do the job here. So she's taken the ball. Understandable captain's decision, isn't it? Like, wants to take charge if it feels like it's getting a little bit out of control. And trickled away off the legs. It's going to be 2. Regina pushing hard. Regina's a great runner between the wickets. She's always going to be pushing for the extra run if it's on. And as we've seen, 2 off the first ball.
Yeah, Waitata Muri in play there again. Just a lovely shot to backwards short leg there. Again, this is all Samoa need to do at this point, is just keep ticking that scoreboard over. A lot of support here, as you've mentioned, Eru, on the sidelines. They might be spurring them on here.
That's the thing about Pasifika cricket and Te Ao Māori as well. Or, you know, definitely in the Pacific. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Definitely the most vocal supporters, and it's just brilliant to be amongst it. You know, whether it be rugby league, whether it be rugby, netball, or cricket as well.
Important here for Samoa to know as well, this is the first time they're actually ahead of the run rate. So it's just about staying here from now.
Close to the outside edge, but through to the keeper without any consequence. Another dot, though. Interesting phase here for Vanuatu because it's a balance between having their 4 fielders out or trying to create a bit more pressure by squeezing. I can see potentially they're happy to give Regina the 1 and then attack the other end as often as possible. And knock back straight to the bowler again. Another dot. Regina just being circumspect, maybe recognising that Solomon is one of their better bowlers and not willing to risk her wicket at this stage of the game when, like you say, they're now ahead of that required run rate. Again, Regina loudly waiting, no run.
If you're Vanuatu here, you've also, as I've touched on a couple of times now, you know, lost a very tight game to Aotearoa Māori in a similar sort of situation as well. Do those sorts of results play on your mind a wee bit and that you're scared of maybe entering that phase of the game again?
Yeah, you don't want to be having that sort of Groundhog Day feeling. Let's see, another really well bowled, great comeback really in that over after a little bit strained down leg, getting clipped for 2 early on and finishing it out with 5 dots to come. So end of 10 overs, halfway through the innings, Samoa are 46 for 3. And as you can see, the worm, Samoa really were a little bit low early on, but just before the 10th over, they've matched what Vanuatu are doing, slightly tracking underneath again at the moment, but the longer that this partnership builds, we will see the Samoa worm rocketing up, I assume, above the Vanuatu line.
Just 3 wickets lost in the innings too, so the key thing is going to be wickets in hand as well, especially between that period between 10 and 15 overs, and that's definitely the key thing you want as a change at the other end of the road end now.
Yeah, look at that 9th over. That's the real key there, isn't it? The 9th over, of course, is when that big partnership began for Vanuatu. A really important opportunity here for Samoa. If they want to get into this game or close to a victory here, you have to expect that this is the partnership, isn't it, really, at this point?
And that big over then forced the bowling change. Captain was like, well, we've got enough bowlers in our unit at this point. Well, I don't want to risk another large over. The batter's feeling confident against this particular bowler. We'll go to the other arsenal we've got. Bit of a more slingy action. Well cut behind point. It's going to run away for at least 2. Potentially Regina looking for 3 on the arm. Oh, strong arm from the outfield, so restricts just to the 2. But yeah, it's a great shot.
Yeah, well fielded there by Nays Navaika there. Out at 3rd man. Just cut off the back foot there. Slightly beats the fielder in there, but Pike able to just cut that off. Although the ball did stop, we'll still give her the credit for chasing.
Oh, play and miss. With the keeper standing so far back, I do wonder if there's more of an opportunity for these batsmen to be standing out of their crease and just, because the ball comes at them a bit slower, just create their own pace. Potentially they can charge more freely and just get to change the length that the bowler needs to bowl by moving where they are standing in the crease. Yeah, hard hands just pushing it out to mid-off, or sorry, into the covers.
Yeah, Melissa Whare there, the bowler. She's actually retired. She was retired from Vanuatu to cricket. It was a late call-up for this tournament as well. Took 2 for 5 yesterday versus Fiji, so she bowls it on a nice clip as well.
down the leg. Epiphanui, another wide. It's extras that Vanuatu will be desperate to restrict, just because every time with the required run rate under 6, those freebies are just real killers.
Yeah, it changes the equation, doesn't it, in terms of needing a single every ball to, you know, allowing themselves to have a dot ball here and there, really.
Yeah, well worked into the leg side. We're going to be pushing hard for 2. Decision, best not on the throat. It'll be interesting as we get later into the innings and as pressure potentially builds, if the running also becomes a little bit more frantic, like we saw in other games, as we've talked about earlier, that our unouts have been
runouts, my greatest teammate.
One of the most successful in terms of getting dismissals this tournament.
And if you're Vanuatu here, this is where, as a fielding side, you really do need to stand up. You know, little moments there where you're making sure you're stopping the ball rather than letting it through and allowing that pressure to ease somewhat.
Another push into the leg side. That's really well run. Regina now getting into her work, just working the singles, rotating the strike, and that's all that needs to be done. Regina's experience shining through at the moment. As we're just going to see some of the good work by the Samoan batters, finding the boundary this innings. And like I say, you take them how they come. And an inside edge is still 4 in the book.
You're a master at that shot, weren't you, for the Hearts?
Oh, look, I remember my first runs for the Hearts was an outside edge for 4, so I take it all day.
But it also does show you, doesn't it, just in terms of how many runs are being scored down there in terms of that third man, fine leg region, which has probably seen why we've got a bit of a change in the field here.
Yeah, it tells you also the bowlers are bowling with some pace. That means that it's something that the Samoan...
Nace Navaika, the bowling change there, she's taken that wicket.
That's a massive wicket. Regina Lee gone for 14 off 25, playing the anchor role. It's now going to be on Te Potu to take up that mantle.
Just puts it right on off stump there. Net turns, Net's taken middle and off stump. Don't you just love that as an off-break bowler?
I like this opportunity from Li'i here, just to pass on a little bit of extra information and a bit of reassurance to Potu as she's gone off, and a little bit of encouragement for the incoming batter as well.
Yeah,
she's going to be able to Langi Te Lea.
It's gone straight to her just to be like, yep, bowling off spin. That's, as we saw yesterday with Eden Carson, actually got a bit of purchase off this wicket, and very similar situation out here. Unfortunate for Regina, just I don't know, hadn't had the opportunity maybe to see how much turn she was getting, and it's just sort of cut her in half.
Langi Te Lea from Leova'a and Tafi Toala villages. Plays for the JP Wanderers back in Samoa. So it was a product of Samoa. Flying over here, just her 12th match prior to the tournament. Made her debut in 2019. Has a high score of about 28. And if there's ever a time to get your highest international score, well, ko tai te wā.
And she's already having a field day with her best bowling figures earlier of 4 for 16 too. So she's on fire.
Yeah, well watched by the new batsman Talia, just covering her stumps, ensuring there's no chance of it getting through this time.
Yeah, I genuinely thought I was going to offer an incredible commentator's curse there. I kind of just sat up there and realised it was on there. Thank you very much, Langi. Oh, the reassurance.
Yeah, well struck, running with the shot. And it's good pressure put on the field, so they're going to be able to push back for 2. And they'll settle for just the 2.
What a way to get off the mark there. Just went through the offside there, didn't overhit it.
Talia looking strong, and the fact that she's happy to play straight down the ground is going to be a massive advantage. The field currently set with deep mid-wicket, a cow corner, and a long on with a deep cover as well. And yep, easily cut out to deep cover for the single. That's really great start to Talia's innings at the crease, working the ball around, and already 3 off 3.
Yeah, scoreboard pressure here, isn't it? And just ensuring that Samoa don't lose any momentum as we start to head into that tricky last 8 overs and how far they still are away. They just need a few singles here and there to just keep that scoreboard ticking over.
Again, well worked into the offside, taking advantage of the fact that the fielder is back on the boundary, so that opens up that space in the offside.
There's some smart cricket there. I think he also saw there from Poltu that she has it to the non-dominant hand, so knew that the fielder then had to come around to throw with her dominant hand. Just smart batting there, easy single.
One more ball in the over, potentially just looking for one more single off it. Yeah, well worked again, running hard. Throw wasn't good enough, so made it home easily. And that is the end of the 12th over, with Samoa now 56 for 4.
Yeah, and just other games that are going down here at Lloyd Ellsmore Park. Pakuranga Tāmaki Makoto Field 3. As you can see in the background there, it's Papua New Guinea versus Cook Islands, and the Cook Islands require another 130 off 33 runs. Yep. Just a bit of confusion out on the field there as to whether it is over or not, just as the umpire and the bowler deliberating there. But from the looks of it though, no, yes, they have called it, so that is over. So yes, back to that game, and also on field 3, which is so from our end to the left side, as you can see on camera on the left side of screen, in the far background is Aotearoa Māori women taking on Fiji. Fiji require another 110 runs of 54 balls at the moment. Of course, Aotearoa women had some of their kaitakraw there released to go and play with, to play some of the Super Smash competition, so an opportunity for their young ones to come through and play. So there's some of the action you can catch, and you can check on the Play HQ website as well for live updates, as well as the Pacific Cup Facebook.
Taramiala back in for her second over, down the leg side, a bit wayward, so Epiphanui, another wide, and another frustration for the skipper of Vanuatu.
So 39 off 48 required. It is starting to creep up a little bit, but it's still at that rate where 1s and 2s will get you there at a boundary every couple of overs. No need to stress yet.
Absolutely, well within control.
Ooh, tight one. As the batter's like, come on, that surely was wide, but I'm no umpire, so I'll leave it to them.
The key really here is maintenance of wickets. So if these batters, particularly Poltu, are there on at least another even 3, 4, 5 overs, they'll probably win this game.
Yeah, well knocked into the leg side. Loving the intent of the running. They know straight away off the bat, I've hit into the gap, going to have to make the fielder move, and gets home fairly easily for the single.
Yeah, we saw Talia just grimacing a little bit in the field after her bowling effort, and she's being asked to do a big job with the bat here now, so she'll need to pace herself with this innings, make sure that they don't take too many risks with the running between the wickets.
They're bringing a, looks like square leg to try and, well, into the circle to try and negate that one off the legs. Just knocked into the offside. Oh, bit of confusion, but sensible stuff not to try and run on that. Could have been disastrous.
Just a couple of updates from the other games. Aotearoa Māori women versus Fiji. Fiji needing 104 off 48 to win that one. Big job ahead there. And then the Papua New Guinea Cook Islands need 130 off 30 balls. So again, Papua New Guinea on top in that one.
Again, pushed out into the offside. No way through there. But yeah, with no deep cover, the offside field is a bit of a wall. And you can see that Poltu is looking to try and split the offside, knowing that if she can get through, there's going to be at least 2, potentially 4. Difficult shot, though, without much pace to work with.
Well, that's hit hard. Partially stopped.
Stop with the ankles. Whare's over, being pretty tight so far after the wide first ball. Only gone for a couple of singles since.
Just past her high score, which is exciting for her.
Oh, short and wide. That should be a wide. So we'll have to bowl the last ball of the over again, which is a freebie for Samoa. They'll be, thank you very much. So at the moment, 36 required of 43 deliveries.
6 hits, Katie.
If you're playing.
I don't know, these are big boundaries.
Down leg side again, another wide. Oh, Whare will be frustrated at herself. She sort of overcorrected then, going a bit too far down leg side. So somewhere in the middle, she'll be hitting top of off.
This is all Samoa need, just stay in the game for as long as they can. They've already got 5 off this over. That's the required run rate right there.
Yep, smart batting. Smart batting there to see the last ball of the over out safely. And so after 13 overs, Samoa now 61 for 4.
Looks like Papua New Guinea have picked up another wicket down the far end there against Cook Islands. So game finishing quite quickly. Papua New Guinea have been impressive, I think ranked number 12 in the world. So they're only, they're not that far away from playing in these big tournaments, you know, the World Cups that the White Ferns are at. So great to have a team of that calibre here at the tournament.
Right.
Yeah, we talked to Tina Taibu yesterday, as you remember. Katie, and he's with the Papua New Guinea team, talked about, you know, they've got status now, so now it's a matter of trying to secure fixtures for the longer form, for the ODI form. So T20's a little bit easier and shorter to do. That takes time. I remember some of the, when Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe were in the men's game, were sort of in that development phase and produced some of the world's best cricketers now.
New over. And just sitting outside off stump, play and miss. And yet it's that desire to play the longer format of the game is where you can create, in terms of, for the batters, a greater sense of batsmanship, which in T20 cricket, you can sort of get away with not having as much sometimes because it is more about the big hits. So the longer format will benefit Papua New Guinea's batting, no doubt. Second ball of the over, just pushed out to point, no run there. Andrew started this over really well into her third.
Such an impressive cricketer. You just see she's a level above already in her career.
Yeah, she's led well, both with the bat earlier on and now with the ball, not willing to give an inch.
Yeah, it's like players like her that you'd like to come see, you'd like to see come and play in the Super Smash, and you know, it's all very well New Zealand franchises picking up these elite players, but it would be great to bring in some development players as well and start to complement the women's game. Being professional in New Zealand has made such a difference to the calibre of our domestic players, and there is a lot that can be taught to the other Pacific nations, that's for sure.
Outside off, hit hard, running with the shot, has to be direct hit. Scampered through. There will be some of the interesting running, I suppose, the under pressure running that's gonna happen, but it's gonna force Vanuatu to have to hit the stump. So Samoa putting percentages in their favour more often than not.
I'll tell you what, she gathered that really well. It was not an easy one. Chilia, Naumali, Chilia.
Oh, not a bad idea, trying to just angle it down to third man for one. Unfortunately, just played a miss. It's been a really tight really tight over from Andrew. He can see going to shots that haven't been what she's been looking for earlier. She's been looking to hit the ball hard through the offside, but going to a different shot that time. And play a miss. to finish the over out. Only one off it. That's a huge over by Andrew. Little bit of a momentum shifter potentially, as we will run through the wickets that have fallen for Samoa thus far.
Straight through the gap there. What a delivery that was. Vanuatu off to a very good start. Just trying to play all around it, and really execution let it down there. This one just tailed in, took out leg stump. Again, execution not quite on. The shot was probably there. This one a good skyer and a really good catch out in the covers. It was difficult, it was a running catch. Fielder had to keep their eye on it the whole way. Never really had time to settle under it, which always makes it hard. And then that one again, some good accurate stuff.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 wickets have been clean bowled, so potentially just an area for Samoa to focus on going forward around how to really protect the stumps. Uh-oh, we've got a trouble in the middle here. That's a shame, as Taleo came down the wicket and then got sent back by Potu, and then has sort of just fallen over her own feet. Unfortunately got sort of stuck in the pitch and hasn't really tried to get back, seeing it was over too quick.
It's hugely unfortunate for Samoa. Yeah, fell over in the middle of the pitch. Knew as soon as she hit the ground that she was stuck. And yeah, very happy to take the buzz off there, Masalet. And now Samoa back at kind of a run of ball is what they need, which was a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, that Andrew over was really big in terms of 5-dot balls. And at this stage of the game, it's the later we get into the innings. It only takes a few dot balls for that pressure to mount in the equation to not blow out at this point, but again, doesn't take too much.
Yeah, I think smart captaincy from Solomon, bringing her back, holding her back. She's bowled 2 good overs up front. Now she's bowled 3 for 7. And doesn't have any wickets, but you can guarantee that the pressure causing that run out, and others sometimes in other games as well, that's the kind of bowling that causes that.
Tualoa, Simo into bat now, but faces up at the non-strikers end due to the run out, so we still have Potu on strike. Yeah, just pace off, really hard to work with, and even if that dab shot had come off, it probably wouldn't have gone too far. So opportunity for Potu to think about what her strategy is here, how to keep her positive intent heading down through the ground or through the field. With both drives back, there's a 1 down the ground all day. Again, just knocking it into the offside, no run. Tidy start to the over. 3-dot balls, including the wicket, and we now see that the required run rate has just ticked over 6 and over.
Yeah, it starts to make it hard, and some good figures.
Outside edge to wide of third man, easily enough through for 1.
Valuable runs for Samoa.
Mansali's been doing a very good job, and it's often the case with, I know there was a phase with the White Ferns where they really struggled against spin. Aussie and England kind of ended up with a lot of spinners all at once.
Another dot. First ball for Simal, just getting her eye for it.
It's difficult when the pace comes off the ball to generate bat speed through the offside. Ball tends to be dragged to the leg side.
Oh, straight through the hands. Will sneak through for a single. That was drop, wasn't it?
No, it just bounced.
Oh, just bounced in front. As we see on the replay. Oh, yeah. Tough chance to potentially dive forward for that. So has done well just to get anything behind it and ensure that just the 1 run from it. Another tidy over for Vanuatu, who really bringing themselves back into this game with a vengeance. As we see, Nose, Vavaika back into the attack. So she was responsible for 1 or 2 wickets earlier on, so she's in good form at the moment and will be feeling confident with ball in hand. Oh, a little bit of a warm-up delivery, potentially. Epawhanui, wide down leg side. Every time an extra's bowled, just the feeling within the Samoan unit for the batters out there is just like, okay, that's a bit of relief, thank you. Play in, miss, straight through to the keeper. Makes up for the wide, gets the dot.
I think these batters need to come together and talk about what are our boundary balls, because that's really all we need is 1 and over, and particularly try and get them early in the over. There's gaps out there, some good defensive field set though, some protection on the leg side. Still some opportunities.
Yeah, the field settings have been good. You haven't seen balls going into different areas of the ground constantly, which tells you that the bowlers are bowling to their field sets. If the captain needs them to bowl full, that's what they're doing. We're not seeing 2 lengths, 2 lines being bowled constantly. So good disciplined performance by Vanuatu with the ball. Another play and miss. Pressure going to be building. Every ball, but there's a dot. Seymour just took a little bit of extra time then just to compose herself and think about what her plan might be this ball. Chips it over the top, pushing hard for the single.
Ooh.
Wow, love the commitment.
They don't stop trying, do they? No. It's very, very cool to see.
Oh, there's everyone down on their haunches.
It's getting tired. It's late in the day, it's been warm.
It's been very hot today. Again, just chipped over the bowler. We see, like, straight away, knew that she was going to go for the run. It was tight, and had it been direct hit, could have been curtains. And just heaved out to cow corner just for the 1, but at this point in the game, 1's are fine. Trying to knock it around every ball is key, and when the opportunity arises, putting a bad ball away for 2, hopefully 4.
I like the intent of that. That's the most exciting thing for me, as you say. 1s and 2s can probably still get this done. But a couple more of those swings, and the other thing that'll happen is that Solomon might decide, oh, I need to just adjust this field a bit, and then gaps start to open up.
Yeah, they need to be scoring off every delivery. Play and miss at this stage is deadly. Got to make sure if they're bowling on the offside, that's fine, but you've got to hit it out to that sweeper, get the single, and wait for the bad ball.
Oh, down leg. And getting through for the extra bonus of a wide, or of a run alongside the wide. So 2 freebies then. Again, at last ball of the over, that's always a frustration where you just want to close it out. And then you've just given them the freebie. So this ball, Vanuatu will be desperate just to keep it to a dot. Whakatau, the end of the over, and move on into the 17th over. Without too many dramas. Is that? I thought it was bold, but it's just a dot. Finish the over, and Samoa now at 69 for 5 after 16.
Yeah, big swing and a miss from the batter, and the keeper took the bails off. It was hard to tell whether it was bowled or not. Really is a case of just needing to get bat on ball every single delivery, just keep themselves in the game by scoring off each delivery. Run rates, not getting away from them because they're not chasing a big score. They only really need a boundary every second over as long as they're scoring off every other delivery. "24 balls, 27 runs. And there's been plenty of extras. There's been 1 or 2 wides each over.
The value of 1 or 2 boundaries at this point in the game would be massive. So just finding out where that part of the field may be. Currently, cow corner is a little bit vacant. Well struck, but well tidied up at extra cover, no run. the back lift's going up high, like you can see the intent to hit the ball hard, which is key. Now it's just about gapping it. Yep, good running. Just hit down to long on, just for the one. Again, as long as those ones are coming every ball, then at some point the wides or a potential four will bring that run rate right back down.
And more good intent. He hits it hard, takes off straight away. Well, uses her feet that time. That's good batting too. Bit of pressure on.
Edge. Good running, pushing hard for two, and makes it home easily.
Well, imagine if there's another boundary. This dugout next to us is going to erupt.
Samoan team is
and I'm here
getting
for
into
it. Yeah.
They know that every run is critical here. 24 off 21. Any time you get any more than one off a ball, it's a bonus. Bat on ball, bat on ball. Doesn't matter where it comes from. The odd boundary every now and again.
Yeah, on target and well swung away to that vacant area, wide of long on, and boundary four. That's massive in the context of this run chase.
That's the area with the bowler turning the ball in slightly. Bowler's bowling quite straight. It is a little bit of a risk playing across the line, but the reward is so much there with only the two boundary fielders back and not much protection. At the moment, for me, there's probably one extra fielder on the offside that they don't need if they're going to bowl straight.
I love that Potu's just taking her time there, like energy's high, maybe a bit kopoteho. He's gone for it again. It's a great shot. Well fielded though, well stopped. They might push back for two on the arm. And again, make it home easy on the arm. That's great batting. And the dugout is on its feet over here.
Yeah, 9 off the last 5 balls. That's exactly what's needed. A little bit of intent each over. You pick up a boundary, it's a bonus, but critical on a big ground like this. If you can work out where you can get two, then it forces the bowlers to change their plan. And here we see that fielder coming from the offside to the onside. And now you're looking for width on the offside. Early in the over, the ball was getting hit through to cover and extra cover, and there is no run. It's critical for the bowler. They bowl nice and straight now. They've got the field for it. They've got the extra protection.
Massive last ball of the over here.
Oh.
And through and bowled. Massive disappointment for Potu, who was looking so good. Is to go for 30 off her 33, but at the same time has played a crucial role and now just leaves a runnable 18 for Samoa to get.
Oh, so disappointing for Potu here. She'd done such a good job for her team. She got them back into a winning position, and off the back of a helpful 18 off 23 yesterday in the very, very close game with Cook Islands where Samoa won by 1 run. I thought she was going to do it again. But yeah, Tassi now with a job to do.
Yeah, that player coming from the offside to the leg side was just too tempting. She just tried to get back and run the ball down to third man, and it was a little bit too close to cut. Came back, hit the top of off stump. It was well bowled. It was just straight enough to keep the stumps in play. Any wider than that, and that one fielder on the offside would have come to pass, but Vanuatu just managed to wrestle back a little bit of control.
And so that wicket was the last ball of the 17th over, with Samoa now 78 for 6, requiring 18 runs off the last 3 overs. So runnable stuff here for Samoa, with relatively 2 fresh batters at the wicket. It's going to be an exciting finish.
Oh, through again. No. Straight through, clean bowled it. What a breakthrough, what a double up for Vanuatu.
That's massive in the context of this chase, as we now see that the tail order are the ones left with the job to bring Samoa home. But great delivery first up in the over, hitting middle and off. Can't ask for much more from one of your strike bowlers.
Yeah, they miss you hit at this stage. When you're getting down to the tail order, you just want to be making sure you're bowling stump to stump so that I guess that lack of skill from the tail end batters. You can keep it in that zone, always puts the pressure on. So now, while the run rate isn't too bad, run a ball, it's not too scary. Now they're running out of resources.
And you've seen Solomon as captain decide, okay, this looks like a really massive over in the context of this game. Game could swing either way based on how this over goes. So she's brought herself back on, trusting that she can tie things up, hit the stumps, and that's exactly what she's done to start. So great captaincy and great confidence in her own skill set.
Bat on ball, critical here for Samoa to stay in this game.
Close on target again. Must have got maybe a bottom edge or something, but would have been going down leg anyway. But Avitia Mapu now at the wicket with a big job to do.
Also a note from the scorers, Vanuatu have gone over time, so maybe the umpire will probably make them bring a fielder up for the last over.
Up in the air, going over mid-off. Well struck. Will it potentially move away to the boundary for 4? No, brought in. Thought about a third. Cole. Happy with 2. Again, great intent. Not going to die wondering here, Samoa. Similar shot, straight through. Appeal for the caught behind, but no, says the umpire. Interesting to see the mid-on fielder is somewhat of a mid-on / long-on, knowing that the big shot probably not going to go all the way to the boundary, so more in a position looking for a catch. Oh. Big shot out on the offside, no. It's dropped and they'll push back for 2. Sort of skewed off the outside edge of the bat into the covers, went high, fell into a bit of no man's land and have got through for 2.
Yeah, the batter's swinging here, and that's kind of, the infield's actually really tight, almost squeezing on the single, and that's probably what saved her then. The ball looped over the infield, but well short of the outfield. And they managed to sneak through for 2, so still in the fight here, Samoa.
Great shot down the ground, although well covered by the half mid-on, long-on fielder. A little bit of no man's land, which when you're fielding in that position, you're hoping, oh my goodness, I hope I haven't come in too much and it's going to beat me and go for 4, but she covered it well. And again, end of the over. So 2 overs remaining, and I wasn't counting it on my hand, so I have no idea how many are required at this point. Here we go, 13 off 12, so 83 for 7, 2 overs remaining. It's going to be tight, so don't leave your TV set. This is a great game. It's going to be a tight finish.
It's getting animated. Plenty of instructions coming from the Samoan team beside us, yelling out to the batters in the middle. They know they're still in with the chance here. 1 or 2 lusty blows away and a little bit of good fortune. It's sort of a 3/4 deep mid-wicket. As you said, Katie, in that kind of catching zone where a lusty blow would land. So
I think this is the restriction that has been imposed because of the time Vanuatu have taken to bowl their overs. They've had to bring that mid-off up.
Great, she sounded great off the bat. Has it split the gap? Potentially, and that's 4. What a great shot, and massive in the context of this game and in this run chase.
It's a lusty blow. It didn't sound too good. It almost sounded like the bat semi-broken, but found a big gap. Fielder had a chance to come around, but couldn't get across in time. So that's what we're talking about. 1 or 2 lusty blows and a bit of good fortune. 9 off 11. They probably only need 1 boundary in these next 10 or 11 balls to give themselves a great chance.
Great shot again from Mapu, finding the space. Going to be pushing hard for 2. Vanuatu doing well to come back to the non-strikers end, loving the running between these two. And Mapu, her intent and energy from the time she's come in has been great, even though the ball was falling into sort of unorthodox areas potentially. That's perfect at this part of the game where you can't put a fielder in every place on the field.
Bear in mind she's 16 years old, Awhitia Mapu.
Holy
and the energy, and she was the same in the field, really impressive. Where's this been? Come on. Some great batting.
Smacks it again, down to long on. Probably just the one. Hopefully just the one, to be fair. Yep. No, good batsmanship between these two. Vanuatu hasn't even faced a ball yet, and it's been all go. So be interesting to see what her approach is now. We've got 7 off the over already, just off 3 balls. So
just bat on ball.
6 off 9. Samoa really in the box seat here, but
you can get 2 or 3
crazy.
singles off the last 3 balls, then they're really well placed. If there's any dots in here, it's going to stay pretty even. That's
big
not needed.
swing and a miss.
She doesn't need to win at this ball.
I'm looking to win it in one shot potentially, but as you say, you can just do it in ones from here. She charges down the wicket, sort of on the leg stump line, gets herself a bit too far away from the ball. She can see that the offside's up, so she's just wanting to smack it over them and hopefully get a 4. Charges, that's wide. Whew. Good awareness by the wicketkeeper to chuck the ball at the stumps. And this is where, I guess, for future development of a lot of the teams we've seen is wicketkeepers being able to stand up to the stumps late in an innings, because real stumping opportunity gone awry, just based on being too far away from the wickets.
Aotearoa does not need to do anything risky here.
Yeah, well played. Just clipped it off her pads. Samoa players are yelling at them, run 3, run 3. And don't worry about it, it's gone for 4.
Delicate leg glance, wasn't it? Ball was in at the pads and she did a pirouette, got enough bat on it to tuck it away. Fine leg had one crack at it, and then the deep square fielder came round and couldn't catch it.
Score's tied.
This is huge for Samoa, and oh, I don't know if you can see it, but at some point you'll be able to, our cameraman will zoom on the Samoan team. The energy from their camp is amazing. This has been a huge over, and big credit to Mapu, who changed the momentum of this last part of the innings, and Vanuatu providing a great partnership. Smacks it away. What a shot. That'll go all the way for the boundary. Regardless, Samoa have won, and that is a huge victory.
Yeah, you can see how much it means to them. Tassi ends up with 8 off 3 balls. Brilliant. And the Samoan team are absolutely ecstatic with that. They fought back really well after a pretty good opening partnership from Vanuatu. Their middle order bowlers did very well in their fielding effort. They faced some struggles in their own innings, but they just stayed in the fight for long enough. And really, Vanuatu will probably look at their extras that they bowled and feel that that's the thing that kept Samoa in the game. Wides throughout, almost every over had a wide or 2. And you can see that's probably the difference. Samoa just stayed in the fight right till the end, and they're absolutely ecstatic.
Well, for me, this is what this Pacifica Cup, this South Seas Healthcare Pacifica Cup is all about. Look at the elation in that Samoan team. There was such a struggle out of the early part of the innings. They lost some wickets. There was some good bowling to contend with Vanuatu, who bowled really well. They'd obviously seen Rachel Andrew have an amazing innings up top for them. But really, that's what you're talking about, isn't it? The passion that those girls are showing there, the excitement that we could hear from the dugout to our right, and then just close games. And it has absolutely been an arm wrestle for sure. Samoa needing to get 96 to win, and started off a bit quiet, you'd have to say, but then Leleki came in. She really steadied the ship. The captain pulled out 14-26. They were really important runs, but for me, Potu, 30 off 33, she got the thing going. She really did. She hit a couple of boundaries later on that sort of turned the game for me. And then a little bit of a cameo, you'd have to say, Mapu and Vaitasi at the end, just to really bring the team home once that platform had been laid. And Vanuatu there, bowlers, wicket shed, Solomon, Mansale and Navaika, they all bowled very well and very economical as well, 5 or under. And Rachel Andrew, she bowled well too. 14 extras, that was what cost them in the end. But across that, some really good figures. And so if we think about the action personnel moment of the match, I think for us it's got to be a couple of these boundaries here hit by Potu that changed the course of the game. That was massive, that one. Huge. That prompted a couple of boundaries after that. And that's when the momentum swung again. Oh, beautiful. Samoa, the voices are high. And here's another one from Potu. Snuck it through. And really, when you're needing a runner ball with not many left, boundaries like that are so crucial. As Katie Perkins said, in the context of the chase, that was huge. Have another look at that one. And Vanuatu fielders couldn't do too much about that. Then we think wider for the match in the South Seas Healthcare Pacific Cup. Player of the match goes to Langitelia, 4 of 16. Her bowling figures were outstanding and really did the damage in the Vanuatu innings. They could have got a lot more runs. They were way more, their run rate was much, much higher. They were on track for a much higher score. And then Telea, she came in with the ball and changed all of that.
Samoan team over thanking their fans. It's been well supported today, and I'm sure it's friends and family, loved ones, just acknowledging.
Tēnā wa tāhua.
Well, it's been one of the more stressful games I think we've called so far. It swung back and forth. I was going Vanuatu, Samoa the whole way through, but the main thing, as we said earlier, the Pacific Cup, South Seas Healthcare Pacific Cup is what this is all about, and some good acknowledgement there from the Samoan team to their supporters and family. It means a lot to them. They were coming in from near the bottom of the table, and they've really put themselves in a position of strength here.
Tell you what, they're going to have a crowd here for the rest of the tournament, I suspect. You do get the sense that as more people, particularly in South Auckland, where there's such a huge Pacific population, it's a wonderful weekend of sport that's coming up. There's some great games tomorrow and on Sunday. So if you are anywhere near Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau, make sure you get along.
And now, Popo, you'll see Vanuatu playing Papua New Guinea at 10:30, and then Vanuatu again in action versus the Cook Islands at 3 p.m. Look forward to see you all then. Thanks for being with us and supporting this South Seas Healthcare Pacific Cup. Hea Popo.